roll, baby. Ooh, boy, it is time to get going here for round 14 on a bit of Sunday footy action. Hey, guys, how you going? So, BKRsport, we are live as the West Tigers are going to be playing host to the Penrith Panthers here on not the final day of the round. We do actually have a game tomorrow, which is the Bulldogs taking on the Eels, but today we have the West Tigers taking on the Panthers, and later on tonight, this afternoon, we have the Shire Derby. We've got the Sharkies taking on the Dragons, and the Dragons got a win last week, but also the team they beat, well, we all know what happened yesterday, Sad. Yes, we do. We all know what happened yesterday. So, look, I don't know what to expect out of the Dragons. I do fully expect the Sharkies to go and win that game, but we'll see how that one pans out after this one. Obviously, we've got the Tigers-Panthers game first, and the Warriors with the bye, so they take that at the start of the round. But, yeah, look, I'm excited for this because the Tigers, they usually play the Panthers quite close, and their season's been pretty good so far, if you really have a look at it. The season for the Tigers, even in the fact that they're ninth position right now, which is very funny that they're there because, obviously, the Tigers for a lot of time, a long amount of years, were always called that ninth team, which is similar to Richmond, actually, the Richmond Tigers in the AFL. They just kept getting ninth. Well, they're back in ninth right now. But with a win here, they would really be jumping back up. And I really do believe that they are... I do believe that they are a pretty good team. It's just come down to injuries that have hurt them in the last month or so, where there was 3 games against some pretty decent enough teams that they got absolutely whacked in. And that was due to the injury processes. But you go back throughout their season so far, and when they didn't have all those injuries, they were pretty good. The only issue that I look at now, looking back in context, is that game against the Broncos. Because when they lost 21-20 to the Broncos, when they had a full-strength team in the Broncos, yet they had an injured team. And now we've also seen that I think since then the Broncos haven't won a game. I'm pretty certain it is. I think there's a 5 or 6 game streak for the Broncos, which would correlate with now. So, yeah, I'm pretty certain that... I actually want to go have a look at that. Is that the last time the Broncos won? Because that was an amazing win for Brisbane. At the time, we thought, wow, they're actually doing some good things here despite all the injuries. So they lost to the Titans yesterday, lost to the Dragons, lost to the Warriors, lost to Manly, lost to the Roosters. No, their last win actually came against the Bulldogs the week after that Tigers game. But I do look at that and I go, well, shit, Tigers, what we doing? I do, because you had some games here that I can forgive you for in regards to the 44-16 loss to the Storm, the 52-10 loss to the Sharks, and the 46-18 loss to the Manly Seagulls. It's not good anyway, and I'm not saying that it's okay to lose those games. I'm just saying there's a reason why you lost those games in that fashion. Again, though, there's a reason why you went on to fraud. And realistically, you shouldn't really be coming off a fraud here, but you weren't on the table. I could easily still put you back on fraud now that you've jumped back up with the Cowboys losing by enough yesterday to put you there. But point of the matter is that when the Tigers are full strength, they actually are going pretty well this season. So I do think that they're going to give it a crack here against the Panthers today, and we all know how good the Panthers are. They've only lost the one game all season, which was to, of all teams, the Canterbury Bulldogs, and I don't think anybody can explain that one. Not a single person. Nobody. Not anybody could explain that the Bulldogs of 2026 are the only team to beat the Penrith Panthers. What on earth are we talking about there? You know what I mean? What on earth are we talking about? But guys, let's get into the 2-team lineups here before this game starts in about 25 minutes time. Do understand, I've had about 3 hours of sleep, man. It's been a crazy 24 hours for me. We did obviously the Rugby League games yesterday, and then we were up late streaming the Australia versus Switzerland 1-1 draw in the pre-World Cup friendlies and whatnot. And now we're essentially straight into this one, man. So I do forgive in regards to if I don't have the energy right now. But we're going to pump along, don't you worry. We're going to pump along. We're going to punch along. We're going to keep on smacking it. And we're going to hopefully watch a good game here. We're going to hopefully watch a cracker game. So hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Let's rock it. So the Tigers, they come to this game from 9th position, and the Panthers come to this game from 1st position. And this is at CommBank Stadium in Sydney. The ends for the Tigers, Bunty Fuller and Tristan Hope, with the outs being Alex Twal, big loss there, and Sione Fainu. The fullback is Dream the Dream, Jakremi Bulla, with the wingers being Jarrell Skelton and Valentino Tovana, centres of Sonia Torova and Hiamasi Makasini. The 5'8" is Jerome Luai, who is the captain, and the halfback is Jock Madden. Surprised to see that Makasini is still here, considering the injury he had last week, but it's good to see him back. The front row forwards are Terrell May and Fanor Bole. Number 9 is Happy Saikoro Isao. The back row is Maverick Geyer and Kai Pearce Paul, with Charlie Murray as the 13. And the interchange is Samoa Fainu, Alex Seyfarth, Royce Hunt, Bunty Arfoa, Stafford Toa, and Tristan Hope, with the coach being Benji Marshall. So this is a pretty strong Tigers team, but it's definitely not full strength. They still don't have Adam Dewey there in the halfback, even though Jock Madden's been pretty good. But I would say Jock Madden's actually been at his best when he's been partnering Adam Dewey, not necessarily Jerome Luai, who he's partnering with today. But Jock Madden's still been pretty solid this season. Their backline is still pretty much what you would expect, minus the fact that obviously Taylor May is injured right now and will be injured, I think, for the rest of the season, unfortunately. So that is a little bit of a setback, but you got Himasi Makasini. Not that I really think that he's actually up to the standards right this very second, but I do think he has the absolute potential. We've got to start seeing it from Makasini, though. We really do. So, look, this 1 through 7 is not full strength, and then the forwards, unfortunately, they're still missing someone of Fainu, who is my breakout player of the year for the Tigers, and I thought that he really was showing that he was running the ball harder, which is exactly what I needed to see from him. He was scoring some tries, and he was really putting in a good effort here for this West Tigers team to find this resurgence and to find this potential surge to make the top 8 this year, because they were really fighting hard for it. They were in the top 4, and yes, they've slipped away now, but that is because of injuries like Yusam Walafainu, and Alex Twal has been absolutely massive for this club this year. I would go as far to say that Alex Twal has nearly been the biggest player for the Tigers this year, but people just won't notice it as much as your star players that have that X factor. When Twal is not really an X factor play, he's going to run that ball hard, he's going to hit you hard, he's going to defend like an absolute machine. That's probably, for mine, the biggest loss here to this Tigers team is Alex Twal. And again, I love someone off Fainu, and I think that he has the opportunity to be like an Olakau'atu figure when it comes to the back row. And I said this pre-season, I've said this since last year as well. But I just go and say Alex Twal is a workhorse. And you're seeing with a team like the Broncos right now that if you lose your workhorses, that's when trouble will arise. Because the Broncos have lost guys like your Corey Jensens, your Kobe Hetheringtons, guys who aren't really, flat-out star players, but they just do their job at a really, really solid level. And I think that's what Alex Twal does, but at an elite level for what he's doing. And I never used to rate Alex Twal, to be fair, but he really has pulled on. And after he scored his first try, and then he scored a try a couple of weeks later, after that, he's really kicked on with his career and really started to show that he's not just the meme that was, oh, when's he going to score his first try? When's he actually going to do it? You know what I mean? He's really turned into the play that we love to see. So, yeah, that's a big loss there for them, and they are pieced apart in this forward pack, which is super, super unfortunate for them. And also, Sione Fainu is out, so he would have gone straight into the back row. But now they've got Maverick Guy there, who obviously is coming across is from the Penrith Panthers. He's in the starting back row. So, yeah, look, I do worry about the Tigers here today, because when they do have a tendency and a knack that when they have their players out, they give up massive score lines. Because, again, when they played the Storm, they lost 44-16. They lost 52-10 to the Sharks, and they lost 46-18 to the Manly Seagulls. They came up against the Dogs last week, who are in the bottom 4 right now, and whoever loses that Bulldogs-Eels game will be in third last. We'll be in second last because the Titans won yesterday. So whoever loses that game will be in second last because the Eels are there now, but if they win, the Bulldogs go to second last. So that's not a great win there for the Tigers. It was only by 6. The Bulldogs gave it a good crack, but obviously the Tigers still came through in the end. I still have my concerns. I have my concerns that a professional team, regardless of injury, should not be losing by 50 at any stage, because at the end of the day, you are still professionally paid players that are the backups to the main guys, and that doesn't give you an excuse to lose by 50, which is what they did for 3 consecutive weeks, essentially. 1 actual 50 and then a 44 and a 46, which is close enough to party. Like, if you're going to have a crack because they didn't actually get up 50 in 3 weeks, well, sue me, because that's it's close enough anyway. So, look, the Tigers, put in an effort here today. You're going up against a really, really tough team that you shouldn't get a win. I don't have expectations for you. But again, even in your worst season, when you were winning those spoons year after year after year, and the Panthers were winning premiership year after year after year, well, I remember the Tigers going to Bathurst against Panthers, and nobody gave them a chance. They were last place. The Panthers were first place. They wanted to win the comp. Tigers wanted to come last. And I think the Tigers beat them like 13-12. So you better hope it's raining here in CommBank. I'm not too sure what the weather is like. I'm hoping it's going to be dry. But we have seen a lot of rain lately, and apparently it's meant to rain a lot for the rest of this year. But The point matter is the Tigers do really turn up here against Penrith. Don't start me on a preseason because the preseason, the Eels came first and the Titans came second. I know what the Tigers did in the preseason against the Panthers, but the Panthers don't take the preseason seriously. They just don't. And in the first half, when they both had their full strength lineups, the Panthers still won that first half 14-12, I think it was, before the Tigers ran over the top of them in the second half when we started to see players really come out. But again, that's preseason, and the intention from players is clearly just not there. It really just isn't. So I don't think that it's something... I don't think it's something to write home about. But anyway, that's the Tigers. Let's move over to the Panthers here, who are coming off of a very, very spectacular win against the New Zealand Warriors last week. Brian To'o, Isaiah Yeo, and Nathan Cleary are in, with the outs being Billy Phillips, Jack Cole, and Luron Patea. The fullback is Dylan Edwards, with the wingers being Thomas Jenkins and Brian To'o, centers of Paul Alamotti and Casey McLean. The 5'8" is Blaise Halangi, with the halfback being Nathan Cleary, who was the captain. Front row forwards are Moses Leota and Lindsay Smith, with the number 9 being Freddie Lussick. The back row is Isaiah Papali'i and Liam Martin, with the 13 being Isaiah Yeo. Interchange of Jack Cogger, Scotty Sorensen, Liam Henry, Isaac Tungo, Luke Garner, and Billy Scott, with the coach being Ivan Cleary. Very good Penrith lineup. The only one that they're really missing here is Mitch Kenny in that number 9, but Freddie Lussick has still been doing a job, man. I do think they do... If I want to be pedantic, they still regress under Freddie compared to Mitch Kenny, because Mitch Kenny is one of the most underrated players in the game. I still believe, truly, wholeheartedly, hand on heart, Jojo Feeder is the most underrated player in the game. He's getting his credit this year with his Origin link-up, but I truly believe Mitch Kenny is the most underrated player in the game because he's not flashy. You know, he's not like your Harry Grant. He's not like your Api Sakoro here for the Tigers. He's not like your Blake Brayleys, even your Reece Robsons. Your Oliver Pascoe, I'm going to put him into the lineup now. Yes, I am. I'm going to put Oliver Pascoe into the lineup. There's nothing you can damn well do about it. But Mitch Kenny isn't flashy, so people don't necessarily look at him because he's not just going bang, 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 bang. He is setting the defensive structure, the defensive line really, really strongly. So Freddie has to come in and live up to high expectations for pure rugby league fans who know exactly what Mitch Kenny does. And I think Freddie brings a whole different ballgame, but the Panthers team is so good regardless. And that's the thing. Freddie's not a bad player. He really isn't. He does his job, but he's just got such a high level of expectation for what Mitch Kenny does provide there. But Liam Martin's back. Isaiah Papali'i's fantastic. Lindsay Smith, workhorse. Leota, workhorse. Isaiah Yeo, so intelligent. Nathan Cleary, best player in the game. Blaise Halangi, just floating off the back of Cleary. And Brian To'o, one of the best wingers of all time. Thomas Jenkins, he's been breaking records for fun this year. Alamotti and Casey McLean, they're going to slap you. They're going to slap you in the face. And then when you say, why'd you do that? They're going to backhand you while you're asking that. They're going to slap you. You're going to say, why? What did I do? I didn't do anything. And they're going to say, exactly. And backhand you across the other side of your cheeks. That is what those centres do. It is a tough centre pairing there. And Casey McLean has been absolutely a star this year. Absolutely a star. And Dylan Edwards has been having a great form year as well himself. So you look at the way these two teams come into this and you say, well, the Tigers are looking a little bit shaky despite the fact they got a win against the Dogs last week. The Panthers, they just win, man. They just keep winning. Like last week, you thinking the Panthers are disrespecting the Warriors here by not playing their full-strength lineup. They didn't play Cleary. They didn't play Isaiah Yeo. They didn't play Brian To'o. Now, they got up against a Warriors team that, yeah, sure had no Mitch Barnett and no Catewell, but Barnett's off the bench and Catewell is a back rower. You're not necessarily just looking for him to be the game changer overall. He's a workhorse kind of back rower, Catewell. You're thinking, shit, the Panthers are disrespecting the Warriors here, and they're disrespecting the game by the fact that we're taking away from how quality this game was going to be. Well, it ended up being probably the game of the season. I would say Panthers Warriors last week was the game of the season because the quality was unbelievable. The defense was unbelievable. We still saw plenty of points, 20-18. Truly is a lot of points. I know not for today's day and age, but that usually becomes because of errors. Us, the Gold Coast Titans, that. But it usually comes because of errors in regards to points scored. In that game, it was down to sheer quality. It was first versus second. The Panthers still found a way to win that game. And the biggest thing that I say with Penrith this year, and I tried to make this argument, I tried to sell you guys this after the Dolphins game when people were like, oh, they didn't play well against the Dolphins. It's time to start criticizing the Panthers. I think that's the complete incorrect way to think about it. Because the thing that I take note the most out of this Penrith Panthers team is that when they lead at halftime, they're dominating the first half, and we know their second halves aren't good. They're not spectacular in second halves, right? Their first halves are typically so dominant, and then it comes down to the other team chase them hard enough in the second half to win, which in the second half of last season we saw teams do. This year, not so much. what's impressed me is that even though their second half is still poor, they still find a way to win. Because they were up at halftime in that Warriors game by 16 points to 6. And then the Warriors came back to be leading 18 points to 16 with 20 minutes to go. And you're thinking, well, this team has now given that lead up. The momentum is with the Warriors. The momentum is with the opposite team. They're just going to go on with it. And the Panthers found a way to win 20-18 with 10 minutes to go, and then held out strongly with some great defense. We go back to that Dolphins game where they led 18-0 at halftime, and the Dolphins came strong. They came rocketing to lead that game 22-18. But yet with 5 minutes to go, Thomas Jenkins did what Thomas Jenkins does, scores a try, and they missed the kick, unfortunately, but they send it to extra time, 22-22, and find a way to win with Nathan Cleary kicking the field goal. This is just what the DNA is for the Penrith Panthers. They just know how to win. Even when all hope seems to be lost, they just know how to damn well win. So I'm going to take the Panthers here today. I will keep an eye on and think that there is a very miniature chance of an upset. I think that the Tigers do play the Panthers quite well typically in recent years, but I just don't think they should have enough goal in this one. And I think the Panthers, especially now that Cleary's had a bit of a rest, and same with Yo and Brian To'o, and the form that we're seeing from Case McLean, the form we're seeing from this team, I just don't know if the Tigers are going to be able to get over the top of them here. But it'd be amazing to see another upset. It's been awesome since we pointed out, because if you're a subscriber here and you watch all of our content on the shorts, which I need to get back into, but on the shorts a couple of weeks ago around Magic Round, I was pointing out that every game is 13 plus. 6 out of the 8 games on a full slate 8-game weekend is 13 plus. We go back to round 10, Dolphins 13 plus, Roosters 13 plus, Knights 13 plus, Rabbitohs 13 plus, Manly 13 plus, and Storm 13 plus, with a 1-12 for the Panthers of the Raiders, and also a 1-12 for the Eels over the Cowboys. 6 out of the 8 games was 13 plus, and this is a pretty common trajectory throughout the first 9 rounds too. I'm just not going to go through that. In round 11, at Magic Round, every game was the 13 plus except for one, which was the Cowboys and the Roosters game, and that quality of that game was just not there in regards to the 20 errors the Roosters had. But there were 7 13 pluses in that round. 7 of them. Yeah, and then we go to round 12, and that was in between. Round 12 was the week that we was really honing on the fact that this is getting ridiculous, and this is not a good product. This is not an exciting product. It is getting really boring because we're just seeing one team absolutely blow the opposition away. Well, since then, we're seeing 1-12s nearly every game. Dolphins 1-12 over the Raiders. Bulldogs 1-12 over the Storm. Warriors 13 plus over the Dragons. Only by 18 though. 12-10 Manly over the Titans. Titans should have done a 1-0 game. And Cowboys 30-18 over the Rabbitohs. So 1-12 was in 4 out of the 5 games. That was a bye round prior to Origin. Then we go to last week, and the Sharks 1-12 over Manly. The Knights 1-12 over the Eels. The Tigers 1-12 over the Bulldogs. Storm just by 14 points over the Roosters for 13 plus. Dragons 1-12 over the Broncos. Raiders by 14 over the Cowboys, and then a 1-12 there with the Panthers and the Warriors. So we saw 5 out of the 7 games, because it was 3 byes, being those 1-12s. And then this week has been just stunning. It really has been. 32-30 Storm over the Knights, 1-12. And we also saw the 28-23 for the Titans over the Broncos. Yeah, we saw the Dolphins, Cowboys 13 plus, the Roosters Raiders 13 plus, and the Manly Rabbitohs 13 plus. But Manly Rabbitohs was actually quite interesting for the most part. Roosters Rabbitohs wasn't great at all. And the Dolphins and Cowboys, the Dolphins were just simply too good for them. And that's what they do. They just earn their right to attack. So it has been a little bit more of a 50-50 this week. But I have been enjoying rugby league a lot more these last 3 weeks. A lot more. And it's games like that Titans-Broncos one last night. It's games like that Storm versus Knights, even though that was a high-scoring game where, you don't really like a 32-30, but at least it was close, and it was still exciting at the end of it. And that was fully expected. We did fully expect that to be as high as it was. So hopefully we can see some 1-12 games here today. But it's just been great to see those 1-12s really filter back into the season. And Bulldogs Eels, hopefully, tomorrow could be. This game definitely could be if the Tigers play up to the defensive standards that we know they can achieve. But the Panthers are going to have some defense here. This game could easily go under. For anyone who's getting on the over-under, I think this is a potential shout of an under. I don't know what the over-under is. But I think this is a shout. If the Tigers have the defensive standards that they've set throughout the season when they've got a full strength roster, which is not today, but if they do, then we will see a 1-12 and we'll see an under, whatever it is. But if they come in with the same level of we've got players out and their defense is in tatters, they'll get beaten by 100 here. They'll get beaten by a lot. They'll get beaten by a lot. The only reason it won't be 100 is because the Panthers are not good second halves. They won't go on with it. But they do need to start going on with it. They do need to start really putting the sword to the teams and stop having these scary games. Whilst I respect the scary games, I'm like, well, they still win. I still need to see you just put the teams to the sword and just finish them off, especially at this point of the season. Just finish them off, man, and don't go into that last little stage nervy. But I also, as a Titans fan, hope the Panthers bash the living shit out of the Tigers today because we play them next week and we lose Tino and Jojo. But all respect, Tigers. I would like to see you go and get a victory here on your own merit, but I just find it too tough. So I'm going to take the Panthers here. I'm going to hopefully see the Tigers defense. So I'm going to go 1-12, but 13 plus is entirely likely. But I'm going to go 1-12 here for the Panthers. Now, in regards to the ladder, actually, well, let's quickly go into try scorers. So try scorers here for the Tigers. I'm going to... I'm going to go with a Sunya Turuva, just because he's going up against his old club here. And he's just such a gritty little man who just knows how to get under your skin. And I just feel like he's the perfect guy to score here with the Tigers to really rile up these Penrith boys, who he would know well from his days there. I think Sunya Turuva is a great shout here for the Tigers to get a try and then really rub it in when he does get it. Even if they're down by 20, he doesn't care. He'll still rub it in. And then you go to the forwards, and I might even look again at a previous Penrith Panthers player in Apisai Koroisau. I may go the two ex-Panthers boys here, which is quite funny. I'll go Apisai Koroisau in the number 9 with a little scoot, and I'll go Sunya Turuva. For the Panthers, let's look at who should we look at? Jenkins is obviously a big shout, and so is Brian To'o. But the thing is that when they play Penrith, when they play the big time teams, it's like they have more confidence. Not even an insult towards Jenkins, but it's like they have more confidence in Brian To'o in the tougher games, in the more harsh games. Now, Brian To'o, I believe, has gone up against Gerald Skelton. Falatino Tavana, I believe, would be going up against Tom Jenkins. So you'd probably... Falatino Tavana's been solid, but also he can be defensively liable and also can have a mistake. So they may actually go more so down Jenkins' side here today. But the Tigers are a pretty good team normally, so that you would actually lean towards Brian To'o's side there. So it's actually really interesting. So I'm going to go away from the wingers, and I'm going to back into Dylan Edwards. I'm going to back into Dylan Edwards because the wingers, honestly, both of them can score. I just don't know which side they focus on today because they do focus down one side in their games. If you believe Jenkins, Tavana's side, fair enough. If you believe To'o against the Tigers, who are typically a good defense, and they trust the Brian To'o more, then go To'o. But I'm going to go Dylan Edwards because he's been in some form this season and been really good and was unlucky not to be in Origin. But Tedesco obviously has clearly earned his spot with being a Dally M fullback last year and the Dally M in general. And he's been crushing it this year and obviously won the game for New South Wales in that Origin. And then you go to the forwards. So I'm going Dylan Edwards in the back line. In the forwards, I think I'm going to go Liam Martin again this week. He didn't score last week. I'm going to back him in this week on his second return from the injury. I've been picking at back rows pretty well recently, so I'm going to go Liam Martin and Dylan Edwards Panthers. For the Tigers, I'm going Sunya Turuva to get under the skin and Apisai Koroisau. Now, in regards to the ladder, the game starts in 7 minutes' time. Panthers, it's very easy to run through here. 24 points, 11 wins, 1 loss. Their points differential is plus 205, so 51 points better than the Warriors right now. If they win this game, they will go 3 wins clear at the top of the table. That needs to be emphasised because right now it's 11 wins to 9, Panthers over the Warriors. It is only the 2 points separating them, but that's because the Warriors have had 2 buys. The Panthers have had 1 buy, and the Warriors, their buys this week. So if the Panthers win this game, they're actually 3 wins on top of the table. They're going to win the minor premiership. They just simply are. I just don't think that if they win this game, I don't think you can catch them. Because the only team that I would even think is in within QE is the Warriors, and they would be a full 3 wins behind, and they did lose to an understrength Panthers team last week. So whilst it was a good performance from the Warriors, it still was a loss when they had those players out. I just don't know if anyone's going to be able to chase down from 3 behind, and also the points differential is in favour of them by a considerable margin of 50-plus points. So if they win this game, I just feel like I'm probably going to start to say Panthers have won the minor premiership. Lots can happen. Lots can change. Injuries can obviously surface. Hopefully that doesn't happen. God bless. But I would be pretty certain that the Panthers just get it. If they lose this game, they'll be on 11 wins still, so still 2 wins clear regardless, but I still think that keeps it open. The Warriors are going to be 2 points behind. I'm not too sure who the Warriors play next week, but at least it'll be close. So the Panthers win first, win or lose here by the 2 points, but again, two points separating them. Then you go down to the West Tigers, who need to win this game. It is really important. Well, it's not even like a necessity, but they're in ninth position on 16 points. They're equal with the Cowboys, who got pumped and mundos by the Dolphins yesterday. The Rabbitohs on 16 and the Sharks on 16. And the Rabbitohs are plus 44, the Sharks are plus 40, the Tigers are minus 10, and the Cowboys are minus 13. The Cowboys have a bye next week. If the Tigers are to lose this game, now the Broncos losing yesterday is actually super beneficial to these teams fighting for the 8, because it would have put them 2 points short and would have been equal on wins with teams like the Sharks and the Rabbitohs and the Tigers. But the Broncos losing keeps them down there on 5 wins. The Storm are on your tail, though. They have not had a bye yet. Watch them. I'm telling you. Watch the Melbourne Storm, because they are equal right now with the Sharks, the Tigers, and the Rabbitohs, who are in the 8. So for all their shithouse that they had this year, they're coming. But the Tigers on 16 points there. If they lose this game, if they lost by 3 or more, they would finish below the Cowboys in 10th position. That's as low as they can go, because the Storm are on 12, and the Broncos are on 12, and the Raiders are on 12. If the Tigers are to win this game, they would go above the Sharks, but they play the Dragons later on today. The points differential is so separate there that it wouldn't matter how much really the Tigers won here today, because the Sharks just winning would have enough. But the Tigers, if they win, they go above the Sharks into 8th. The Rabbitohs are plus 44. You'd need to win by 54 points. It's not happening. It's just not happening. So for mine, the highest you can achieve this week is actually an 8th position. But I do have the Sharks to beat the Dragons right after this, which we'll be live for. So with the Sharks winning that game, it means the Tigers will finish off in 9th. But you will have 7 wins, which will at least be 1 more win than the Storm, who are breathing down the top 8's necks right now. You just need to keep that gap. You need to keep that distance. It's a very tough ask here against Penrith. Very, very tough ask. But if you can get a win, it's a huge sign that you actually genuinely could be a top 8 team this year. If you win this game, you're really proving your reasoning for us to back you in for the top 8. But yeah, it's going to be very difficult. But all right, guys, let's get into the chat. Let's see what you are saying. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for new round here. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee before we do get into the chat. And hopefully we get a good couple of games here. Like I said, Sharks, Dragons after this. And then tomorrow morning, early in the morning, I'm actually going to be live for Colombia versus Jordan in the FIFA World Cup friendlies. The World Cup starts on Friday, but we are going to be streaming and smashing out this FIFA World Cup. So that'll be about 8:30 a.m. in the morning for you Aussies and about 10:30 in the morning for the Kiwis. By the way, New Zealand, only 1-0 loss to England yesterday. You're pretty happy with that? Like, you're not happy, but you're content with it. Only a 1-0 loss, and it took them, 40 minutes to score. I think you're pretty content with it overall. You're not expected to do too much in this World Cup, but that's not an awful result. Just like with Switzerland yesterday for Australia. Take that 1-1. Take it. But that's a whole conversation for another day. In regards to football, for now, let's get into the Rugby League, and hopefully we get a crack a game here. Aspect says, any gamblers today? McLean, anytime try scorer. Buller, anytime try scorer. Cleary, anytime try scorer. Papali, anytime. From your mouth to God's ears, man, because I've got Cleary as my captain. I'm in a close game in Supercoach Draft right now, and I really do need to win. So I've got Nathan Cleary and Brian Toto in my team, and I've got Cleary as the captain. He captained Payne Haas, who only got about 72 or so yesterday. Or 73. Panthers are running out into the field now. So I have a good chance here. If Cleary can absolutely go gangbusters here today, I have a good chance to really pull away in this matchup. So I really hope you're right in regards to a try scorer, because if Cleary scores a try, usually he bangs in about a 120, which would be about 240 for me. So I'd love that. Brett says, seen some Broncos fans saying robbed. Shut up. Because, not you, but just shut up to the people saying robbed, because their player being hip dropped and head high in the same tackle. Okay. Zane Harrison scored. But also, have a little bit of accountability, Broncos fans. You have now lost to the bottom 3 teams this year, all 3 of which have been at home. You lost 40-32 to Parramatta in round 2 after you lost 26-0 at home to the... You don't have a great record to Suncorp this year. And you lost Magic round 2, mind you, even though that wasn't a home game. But you lost 40-32 to Parramatta, who are second last right now. You lost to the Dragons 30-26. At home, who are last, and that was their only win of the season, and you've now lost to the Titans 28-23. You've essentially given up 30 points to the bottom 3 teams, and now the Titans are in 4th last. But the point of the matter is that Broncos, you need to be better. You shouldn't even be in that position. But also, I will say, the only reason you scored tries yesterday is because of the Titans' errors that happen every single week. The only reason that Brisbane even scored tries yesterday was not even necessarily off of their own back and their own work rate. It came off of the errors of the Gold Coast Titans. Every single try the Broncos scored came off of an error from the Gold Coast Titans, which is the reason why they lost to Manly, which is the reason why I think they're second right now for the most errors in the competition. The only team above them is the Sydney Roosters, and I think that's only by one. The errors, it's the Cowboys, but they've also played 2 more games than those 2 teams. So it really is the Roosters with 12 played for 159 errors, the Titans with 12 played for 157 errors. Cowboys are 161 errors through 14, but that's 2 extra games. So Roosters are in first and the Titans are in second. Let's stop with the excuses. You just simply shouldn't be losing that game. And again, a miracle from Keanu Kenny. I could have easily been sitting here and talking on the opposite level, but I would have been saying the Broncos were shithouse. They weren't good enough in that game. They just simply weren't. We allowed them to get into the game. And when you give enough ball to the opposition, they will eventually capitalise on it. It doesn't matter if it's the Broncos, it doesn't matter if it's the Dragons or the Newtown Danwell Jets. They will capitalise on the errors. So that's why I look at it and say, well, the Broncos, you scored most of your points because of the Titans. But anyway, the game has started here, and the Panthers are going to kick this ball off. The Tigers are going to kick this ball off, and the Penrith Panthers will get this ball at the 15. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Let me just refresh this live score so that it is rolling underneath us throughout. Tigers, good defense to start off this game. Deflecting back down to the 15 here on second tackle. Case McLean locked up, and Moses Leota gets this ball to the 25 now on third tackle. I've cleared Alamotti anytime tries. I love it. Scott James says, I've not got the best at picking try scorers. I've got the under 50.5 alternative points. I don't mind it, man. You just have to hope the Tigers come with their defensive outset. Their defense, 6 again for Penrith at the 40. That's huge. Dylan Edwards brings this ball to the 45. And it all comes down to the first half dominance from the Panthers that you will typically see. The Panthers will come out red hot here. And they may win. They may lead this game by quite a large margin. And then it comes down if the Tigers have it in them in the second half to have the attack there. Leota right at the middle. He's going to bring this ball to the 30 on third tackle. He's going to roll it back to Freddie Lussick. This is a great set now from the Panthers after that 6 again. They go Blaze Talangi to his eye Papali'i, and he's going to be 25 metres out from the line. 4 tackle. Freddie Lussick. They go to the left to Case McLean, and McLean's going to be 15 metres away now on fifth tackle. They roll it back to Freddie Lussick. He'll get it across to Nathan Cleary. Cleary, here's Jenkins' side. So are they going to focus this side today? Well, Sunia Tadorova should be called for an escort there. Case McLean's going to get this ball. It is 6 again. But Tigers should have been penalised. That should have been a penalty against... Sunia Tadorova. That's clearly an escort. He blocked off the run there for Thomas Jenkins. Second tackle now, 8 metres away here from the line. He's a little nifty bloke, that one. I'm telling you, watch him. He will do what he can to... Oh, good chance. Moses Leota. Leota's going to be 3 minutes away from the line. Third tackle. Panthers are pushing. Panthers are coming. Early doors here. Scary stuff over the Tigers. Cleary, quick pass. Liam Martin. Liam Martin just runs straight into Maverick Geyer. Panthers to Nathan Cleary. Look at the pressure here from Penrith. This is ridiculous right now. Fifth tackle at the 3. Good work from the Tigers to be holding out. They're going to have that one of those defensive games we're talking about. Cleary out of the fifth tackle option. Moses Leota. Oh, good defense. Good defense from the Tigers. That was great attacking pressure from Penrith, but the Tigers held out strong, and the Tigers will get the ball here at the 2. Jess says, how's your head to that after yesterday's win? Yeah, well, I've only had about 3 hours sleep, to be fair, because I had to show that Australia versus Switzerland game. But also, I don't know if because it was so hectic yesterday at the back end of that stream, I did notice that you sent a donation. I don't know if I read it out or not, so I appreciate you for your £20 donation there. I can't remember if I read it out or not, so I just want to make sure that I say thank you for that. So Tigers ball here at the 10. Now Sunia Tadorova brings it out at the 15 to the 20 on third tackle. Tiger Hood says, I would take the over. I think the Panthers will put up 40 by themselves. Well, that first defensive set there from the Tigers, well, they gave up a lot of meters, and they gave up that 6 again, but they got multiple 6 agains, but they were able to hold out on the line. So you're pretty happy with that if you're under the unders here. William says, hi, champ. Loved your passion yesterday with Titans. I love my Tigers, but I don't think so. Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think so. It would be massive if they do. 40-20 attempt here. But the Panthers will get this ball at the 15 through Dylan Edwards. And Edwards will slip over as he tries to get inside, and he'll be taken down to the 25. We drew 1-1, Brenton. We take it. Second half, much better than the first half. First half was diabolical. Not even worth your time looking at how that first half went for Australia. But second half, Yankee scoring that goal was really nice. And, Jenkins gets this ball to the 40 on third tackle. Has little Gremlin retired yet? Would be nice to see. Nice to see he lives up to his promises. Fourth tackle now at the 44. 4 minutes in. Again, it's just relentless pressure here from the Panthers. Cleary to Casey McLean, and McLean's going to get this ball here to the 30. And now let's see which side Cleary puts this bomb up to. He's going to actually not even put the bomb up. He's going to put Blake Salungi to his eye. Papali'i back here to Jenkins. Jenkins going to step back on the inside. Still fit tackle here. McLean. I don't know what happened here with Penrith. The pressure from the Tigers right now, I don't know what Cleary's complaining about, but the pressure from the Tigers defensively is really impressive. It is really impressive at the moment. I'm going to go to the live chat here because otherwise I'll be super behind the entirety of the game. Losing to the Dragons is more embarrassing than finishing. What the hell is happening, Aspects? I'm not reading the rest of that comment out. Second tackle now for the Tigers, and they're going to get this ball at 33. Treyhorn says, lad, can you put up an honorary score bug of the Titans-Broncos game so we can laugh at the Broncos? Well, I'm not going to do that, but with that being said, we all know it's in our brains. And it's like, bad knock on from Fanua Bole at the 40, and they're going to let the Panthers get that pressure back into the game. That is a big no-no. That is a big no-no. Dropping that ball cold just then. Mo says, happy weekend, everyone. Time for footy. The footy was yesterday. The real big boppers, the real big dogs. The team in first position was yesterday. Now, that was a real one. It's... Ari says, let's go Tigers. Expert says, Titans best team in the comp if they hold the ball. If they hold the ball, they genuinely will win more games than they lose. You know, on a real level, if they hold the ball, they will win more games than they lose. Because again, the game yesterday, the Broncos scored all of their tries off of Titans' errors. Every single one of them. They go to the right, Liam Martin. The Broncos were putrid yesterday. They shouldn't have actually even been in the game. But we allowed them to be in the game because we make our own errors. Second tackle of the Panthers at the 25 is Zai Yo, Nathan Cleary. Cleary now to Isaiah Papali'i, and Isaiah Papali'i into the line. Taking up the 15, third tackle. Third tackle. They go to Isaiah Yo. Yo at the back here to Cleary. Cleary goes at himself. He steps around, and he'll be taken down to the 5 on 4 tackle now. You've got to, if you're, 6 again. What are you doing, Terrell, mate? Freddie Lussick, Dylan Edwards. So close. First tackle, 3 minutes away from the line. Terrell May, you've just thrown your team under the bus with that 6 again. Nathan Cleary gives it to Lindsay Smith, and Lindsay Smith will be 8 metres away here from the line. 8 metres away. Freddie Lussick, Nathan Cleary. Cleary, then Casey McLean. He gets away from one, but he'll be taken down to the 8. Third tackle. Resilient defence from the Tigers right now. Resilient. It's going to tire him out, but it's resilient as we speak. Nathan Cleary. He spreads that ball to Dylan Edwards. Edwards now. Paul Alamotti. Too easy. Bang. Try time, Paul Alamotti. The pressure was too much. You weren't holding out. Defensively, you've been impressive the first 7 minutes, but you weren't holding out this. This was just too much from Penrith. They just kept going. They kept going. Fanua Bole's throwing your team under the bus with that knock on. And then same with Terrell May throwing your team under the bus with that 6 again. You give them opportunities, they will score. This is the one, the main team that you cannot give away those errors in that position, and you cannot allow them to continue this relentless pressure because this is relentless right now. Try time, Polomotti. Hitsugaya says, anyone else watching the game are getting a weird clicking sound in the broadcast every now and then? Are you guys getting a clicking sound? Are you guys getting like a clicking sound? I'm not too sure. Are you talking about their broadcast or my broadcast? Jess says, no thanks needed. You had me crying. The passion you have for the Titans was contagious. Yeah, no, I'm very passionate. You know, I've been around this club for a very long time, you know, and we've gone through some extremely tough times. We're still going through an extremely tough time, but we've at least got that hope for the future now. Not because of yesterday, but just in general because of the Josh Hannay and the way that we're adjusting our defense with McDermott and the way that we're going forward with Zane Harrison now and Jaden Campbell and Oliver Pascoe has been unbelievable to watch. And, you know, I love Keanu Kenny being able to have that moment from yesterday. He's needed that. He's really, really needed that post-injury to have a moment like that where the whole comp just looks at him and goes, holy damn well shit. So, you know, all those years, moments like that yesterday, they're just, regardless of how the game played out, you just don't have that at the Gold Coast. We're not a lucky team in regards to having any kind of results like that. So that's why it's so amazing to see moments like that. It's just so amazing because usually that's happening to us. Always. Nathan Cleary from the sideline here. He will... gets that one. Sneaks it inside, and it's 6-0 to the Panthers 8 minutes in. Nice kick there. I think the Titans honestly have a good chance against the Bronx. Me yesterday. Yeah, well, good stuff, dude. We didn't have a good chance against them. We slapped them. So this is 5 from 5, about to be 6 from 6 up the Tigers. Mate, you're the best tipster on planet Earth, Sunder. You're the best tipster on planet Earth. And Nate says, I used to kick the footy with Maverick when he was a little kid in Penrith when I was landscaping on MG's house. He's a monster like his dad now. Yeah, 54 tackles to 17. In the first 8 minutes, the Tigers have already had to make 54 tackles. That means that if you're going across the first half, they would be averaging, they probably will receive about 220. The typical amount of tackles made for a half is 160 to 180. So 54 tackles in the first 8 minutes here is on trajectory to be going well above that in the 210 to 220 range. Laurie says, hi, Blaze. What a BKR team. Wow, still coming down from last night's high. What a game. Crazy game. We also had about 800 people watching live here. For a regular season NRL game, I'm telling you, those kind of numbers are amazing in our sport because obviously we are a very worldwide niche sport. But to have 800 live concurrent viewers for a game in a regular season matchup like that is just amazing. Fitzak went out to 40. So it's great to see you guys enjoying it. No clicking sound for you guys. Yeah, okay. So I'm not too sure in regards to who asked about. Oh, the Tigers are going to let that ball bounce, and Torova will Drell Skelton will get very lucky that bounces over the dead ball line. So it's going to be a 7-tackle set. Barnes, I still can't believe that Kenny try. Mate, Kenny, what a man. What a man. Can already see Sammy in the Dragons jersey next year. Thank you, Titans. Yeah, no, look, I think I'm going to miss Phil because of what he's done for the club, but I also think it's the right thing to do. I think it's time for Phil to go and have a crack there at the Dragons. He has his amazing moments and he has his poor moments too. I think that it will be good for him to have a new, fresh bit of scenery, and hopefully Moni Hiroti does turn out to be a good player here for the Titans. No, I can see what game this is. No, knock on there from Charlie Murray. Very unforced error. You're seeing too many errors in this first 10 minutes here. 10 minutes gone, 30 minutes to go the first half. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. No pressure there from the Panthers, and Charlie Murray's just dropped it. He's already thinking about what the next play is. He's already looking to pass the ball to the left-hand side. That is poor, and I can already see how this game's going to pan out from this early part because there's just some really, really lazy errors here. One from Finopole and one from Charlie Murray. And it's 1 from 4 for the completions for the Tigers. They are at 25% on the completion rate in the first 10 minutes. 25% is diabolical. 80% is the bare minimum you're looking for. 25% is diabolical. The Tigers are playing like the Chooks here. Yeah, that's valid. Isaiah Papali'i goes to the left. Nathan Cleary gives it across, and it's going to be Case McLean taken down here at the 30. The pass was a little bit behind, so he couldn't get that breakaway that looked like was coming. Isaiah Papali'i, he'll get to Nathan Cleary. Cleary then to Isaiah Yeo. Isaiah Yeo runs his ball into the line. He'll be at 25 metres out of the line, third tackle. They go to Nathan Cleary. Cleary underneath to Moses Leota, and Leota at the 15, fourth tackle. You cannot just keep on giving this Panthers team chances because they will take him and they will slab you. Blaze Salangi, Case McLean, Thomas Jenkins. Jenkins is going to be 4 metres away from the line, fifth tackle. Hold this defense, but look at the amount of tackles that are being racked up. Is Nathan Cleary, try time for Nathan Cleary. 10-0 to kit to come. Well, whoever predicted Nathan Cleary for a try scorer, there's your bang. 10-0 to kit to come. There's my captain on Supercoach. Yeah, boy. Beautiful. Way too easy. Way too easy, Mo. Nathan Cleary. Imagine giving Nathan Cleary that much space. Imagine giving Nathan Cleary that much space. Isaiah Papali'i, nice to run into that line. You know, they've got 2 decoy runners there of Freddie Lussick and Lindsay Smith, and that just gives way too much space here to Nathan Cleary. My goodness. He doesn't, like, he dives for it, but it's like a really, it's like a really slow dive from Nathan Cleary. Like a really, really slow dive there. Are you watching OT? What do you mean, am I watching OT, Toast Malone? Marcus says, did you see Tino was talking about Paul Gallen, how he went from rock bottom to the top, that Tino was inspired by it and wants to do it with the Titans? I'd love to see it, man. Like, obviously, I have to be critical of Tino. I do have to be honest with my view and thought I love Tino. I think he's an amazing man, and I think that he really cares about the club, and he's in some poor form overall. He's been better, but I didn't like that he didn't try to charge that field goal down yesterday. And the 2 knock-ons early doors really pissed me off. But outside of that, I know he cares. So anybody who ever says that Tino doesn't care because he has bad performances, you are incorrect, and I will tell you that for a fact because I've cried with Tino after games before. Like, literally, we have cried together after games, when I've been traveling around and whatnot. I know how much this man cares for this club. I know how much this man loves this club. I do back him in to get back into the form, but obviously I have to be critical of where Tino is at right now with the club, and I have been disappointed this season. But I would love nothing more than to one day us to look each other in the eyes and just break down in tears as we win a competition. I would want nothing more than him to be the guy, because he is someone who truly cares about the Gold Coast as a community, not just the Gold Coast as a paycheck, which a lot of players do overall. So whilst you have to be critical, there is nobody that I'd want to see more successful than Tino at this club eventually. The Panthers now will bring this ball here to the 10 on first tackle. Benny West's fans are going home needing a psychologist. Dude, it's crazy. Second tackle of the Panthers at the 20. They got the kick, so it's 12-0. It's crazy because yesterday was the mental health jersey for the Brisbane Broncos with the All Black, and people are using that as a way to like insult the Broncos. Like, it's... I get the comedy factor. I do. I get the comedy factor. I don't really like that this is being used as a comedy factor, but also I get it. But people are saying like it's ironic considering how that game went. So again, quite funny. Not a joking matter, mental health and men's mental health, but you know, it's just convenient timing. It is convenient timing. Jess says, I had a massive night. I got told about this. Oh, that's going to be charged down here from the Tigers and the Panthers. What? How can you not say that's played at? Edwards gets it across. Oh, they're going to be away. Thomas Jenkins. Jenkins going to hit this ball over the top. The ball's going to bounce. I don't know how you can't say that was played at there, Grant Atkins. At the end of the day, they're running up to make a block on the kick or running up to put pressure on the kick. That is playing at the ball. You can't be running to put pressure on the kick without playing at the ball. If you touch that ball, that is on you for putting pressure on the kick. So you are making an active play. So how could that not be classed as six again? Anyway, third tackle of the Tigers, the 42. Come on, Tigers, play some defense. Love that too for my fantasy captain. Mariki says, before Kenny last night, what is your favorite clutch play of the NRL, whether try or field goal? Or Nathan Cleary in the grand final, something special, man, against the Broncos. Fitzpatrick at 35. Outside of that, I'd look at it as Sean Kenny-Dow, 2010. Jock Madden's going to put this ball, pretty simple kick here for Dylan Edwards to take, not really any pressure. He gets it, and he'll be taken down to the 18 first tackle. Sean Kenny-Dow against the Tigers, 2010, first week of the finals, was amazing because that was a 100-minute game or 96-minute game, whatever it was. That was just unbelievable. One of my favorite games of all time. The Michael Morgan try of 2015 grand final, for sure. But we're looking at finals here. Like, if we're talking regular season, geez, you guys give me your regular seasons. It's very difficult to, especially with 3 hours sleep, it's very difficult to scroll through all the different games over the years. Blaze the lung it is up, I believe, here with the 50 on fit tackle. 15 minutes gone here. And now the Panthers will get this ball here. So the Tigers get this ball at 13. Dream Bully, bring it out to the 20. David Mead try against the Sharkies. Is that what you're talking about? I was there for that game. I was down at Sharky Park for that when he caught the ball from behind, no looker. That was amazing. But that's also like one of the greatest tries of all time, rather than the most clutch moment of all time. And that's going to be Tigers 6 again at the 30 on the first tackle. Marcus, I reckon JC is the most important player for the Titans, just his influence. Will you see how much better he's playing in the 6? He is a running 6. Oh, big shot from Nathan Cleary on here, Masi Makasini. Wow, hello, Nathan. Third tackle now for the Tigers, the 45. I'm just trying to think of regular season clutch moments because it's so difficult to compare it to a Sean Kenny-Dow or a Nathan Cleary against the Broncos, or, you know, the way that Reece Walsh, the Ben Hunt field goal, that's a forward pass there from the Tigers. If you keep giving them ball, they are going to slap you by 50 here. If you keep giving the ball to the Panthers, West Tigers, they will beat you by 50. It's getting ridiculous. Trust me. Take the advice from a fan of the Titans who makes the second most errors in the competition. We nearly lost a game yesterday off the back of our errors for the 100th consecutive time in a row. First tackle now for the Panthers at the 40. Where it says, Leka Hadasima game winner versus the... Oh, that's a good clutch moment. Yeah, you're right, Retro. You are right. That is a big, big clutch moment. Second tackle at the 30. That also prevented us from winning the spoon, so I appreciate you. Nathan Cleary runs his ball to the 20 now on third tackle. 15 on third tackle. Good post contact. Nathan Cleary's looking for a game here. He's looking for a game. Freddie Lussick. Lindsay Smith, he's already got to try to himself as well. Lindsay Smith, 8 meters away from the line, fourth tackle. And they're going to roll it back to Freddie Lussick. Lussick gives it off to Isaiah Yo. Moses Leota, 2 E's. Oh, I think he's lost that. Oh, no, he held the ball. He was short, just. Freddie Lussick goes at himself too easy. 16-0 to kick to come. You're going to get beaten by 50 if you keep doing this because you gave him this try. Tigers, you gave Penrith this try. Knock on, forward pass. What's your completion rate? What is your completion rate? I assume that it is going to be astoundingly pathetic right now. This is diabolical. Completion rate is currently, well, it was 60%. It'll be 50% because they haven't given that forward pass yet. Now it's 50%, 3 for 6. You have 50% on the completion rate for the first 18 minutes of this game. This is going to be a blowout of epic proportions if you don't get your control in line. V6s was at a food festival last night. Missed the Titans game, but instantly after watching the highlights, I had to go through your live stream for your reaction. Mate, how good? Mate, how good? How good? You know, a couple of people said, how have you kept your shirt on there? I just didn't even know what to think, to be honest, because again, I'm not used to that happening for us. Like, so many times we will lead and the team will just run over the top of us. And then, especially with the Broncos taking the lead, that is such a big moment that can change the foundation of what we've seen in recent years and to get us away from that past. When have you ever seen the Titans lead by 10 plus points, let the lead go to be losing by 1, and then still find a way to win? That's not what we do. It's not what the Titans do. So that's why I didn't even know what to think last night. I really didn't. I didn't even know what to think. So I was very impressed by that. 18-0 to the Panthers with 19 minutes gone here. Stacey Martin says, let's go Panthers, let's go. Yeah, it's too easy for them right now. Eden says, Darren Lockyer origin. Darren Lockyer origin, but that will come down to the same wavelength of like a Sean Kenny-Dowell or a Nathan Cleary or Ben Hunt in the finals last year in Canberra. You know, those moments, yeah, sure, but they're on the big game level. I'm trying to think regular season because how can you go past what Keanu Kenny did yesterday, especially when we had like less than 10 tackles in the opposition half, the whole second half, really. Matt Fionnay's try against the Roosters in 2023. Matt Fionnay's try against the Roosters in 2023. I can't even remember it. Oh, Jenkins away here. Oh, no. You're going to get slaughtered. You're going to get slaughtered. Jenkins away. Jenkins away. Jenkins away. He's got Freddie Lussick. He's got Freddie Lussick. He's got Freddie Lussick. He doesn't need him. He doesn't need him. He doesn't need him. Oh, he slapped at the 15. Panthers going to score here. Watch. Panthers going to score right now. Freddie Lussick. He goes left-hand side. Casey McLean. He's going to run this ball. Oh, selfish. 5 metres out. Second tackle. Oh, Tigers, I'm sorry. This is not your game. Freddie Lussick, Dylan Edwards. Edwards now, he's going to be 5 metres out. Third tackle. 20 minutes gone in the first half here, guys. 20 minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Third tackle for the Panthers. Freddie Lussick, he'll get this ball to Nathan Cleary. Cleary at the back to Blaze Halangi. Casey McLean, again, selfish. Should have passed the ball. Jenkins. Forward tackle. They give it across beside Papali'i. Nathan Cleary. Isaiah Yeo. Dylan Edwards. I think that's touched there. I think that was touched by the Tigers. It's going to be a penalty to the Tigers. I think the referees missed a touch there from the Tigers. I'd challenge this if I'm Panthers. Yep, and they're going to do that. Nathan Cleary, this is smart. I'm pretty certain this was touched by the Tigers originally. Stacey Martin says, can you show us the game, please? Due to broadcasting restrictions, it's illegal. You said please, which is why I'll respond to you respectfully. If you had said show the game, dog, which sometimes we do get here, I would have told you to get a job. But you have asked respectfully, so I just tell you, due to broadcasting restrictions, it's illegal for me to show you the game live, but the best I can do is commentate it, talk to you guys in the chat, and have a bit of a laugh with it all. Yeah, he touches that for sure. $1,000,000%. Here, Masi Makasini will knock that ball on, so it's going to be Panthers ball here at the 12 or so. Nathan, come on, people, give the stream a like, bloody hell. Exactly right. Smack in those thumbs up button. Now, to tell you what, I know you're looking forward to the Warriors game next week. That's your most enjoyable games because you get to have a crack at the Wise fans in the chat. Didn't the Titans win versus Sharks in 2011 and without that Dave Mead try, they lose? I think we won like 22-12 or something like that, didn't we? Someone can go back and fact check that. I can't remember. This is 15 years ago. Again, I was at this game, but I don't know if it was a one-score game. I can't remember. I cannot remember. Blaze Halangi. Dylan Edwards at the 20. He's got Nathan Cleary. Cleary at the back to Casey McLean. McLean Jenkins. Jenkins, too easy. But try time. Panthers going to put 50 past you. 22-0 here with a kick to come. This is weak. Tigers fans, you need to be pretty upset about this. You need to be really upset about this. I do not care that you have Sam Walafainu out and Alex Twal out in the context, and Adam Dewey out in the context of your team still should be good enough to not be down 22-0 here in the first half. And you know why? Because that's pathetic defense off of the kickoff there for Jenkins to make that breakaway. Unbelievable from Jenkins, but also pathetic defense to allow that breakaway. you have allowed the Panthers to have it their own way here because of your ridiculous completion rate of 50%. This is not good enough. It's just simply not good enough. They're not even in the top 8. No, they're not, and they're currently going to drop out of this table here and go into 10th position. And when that happens, I'm going to have to put the fraud alert back on the Cowboys, who come back onto the ladder. 2009, Brett Morris, 100-metre try against the Seagulls. That was huge. Actually, you know what? You've just reminded me with that one. The Darius Boyd intercept against the Bulldogs. When was that? That was about 2010, maybe? Darius Boyd, the Bulldogs were going to score under the post. And then they passed. It was a 2-on-1, and Darius Boyd perfectly saw it, and instead of going for the tackle, he went for the intercept, got the intercept, and ran and scored it himself. That was clutch. That was a clutch moment for the Dragons. I can't remember when that was. Maybe 2010, 2011, 2009 kind of deal. Probably 2010. I haven't yet, Brett. Thanks for the reminder. I do need to set up that World Cup fantasy. I do need to set it up. So if you guys are here for the Bulldogs-Eels game tomorrow, we'll have the World Cup fantasy set up. Plus, also, we'll be live in the morning for Colombia versus Jordan. So if you're live for that one here on the channel, then you can join up on the World Cup fantasy then. Thanks for reminding me. Michael Jennings, 108-metre try, best ever. Don't know about best ever, but it's a fantastic try. Reminds me of that Manly try. They went like 107, 8 metres or so. Nathan Cleary here for the conversion. Can he make it 24-0? Sean Johnson was a good one. That was 2 years ago, wasn't it, Matt Leeds? Oh, Cleary's going to curl it in. Yes, he is. 24-0. Oh, no. What's Cleary on Supercoach already? Dude, he will be dominating Supercoach already, especially with that try. I agree with Vossi here. You are witnessing absolute perfection, but also the Tigers are knocking the ball on unforced, which is allowing the Panthers to be as brilliant as they have been. This is terrifying for the competition. This Panthers team is a juggernaut, man. They're a juggernaut. You have 52 points for Nathan Cleary already with 18 minutes to go of the first half. That's not including the kick just then. Nathan Cleary is on fire. So the Panthers are going to get this ball in their own end goal, and Moses Leota gets his ball to the 15 on first tackle. Booby Gaming says the way this game's going could be 60 points. Right now it's getting ugly. Yeah, second tackle here at the 20. Great St. George team from 09 to 11. So you're a Dragons fan, so who was it? What year was it? Was it 2010 or was it 2009? Or was it a little bit later? I don't know if it was the year they won the comp or not, but it was when Darius Boyd was at his prime best. Darius Boyd, when he was at his prime, was just brilliant. It's just unfortunate he played his career too long, which I get because he wanted the money, and I get it, but his legacy would have been known as one of the best. He would have been one of the best. I think he would have gone down as one of the best standards of the game if he didn't play his career too long and people forgot about his prime, because he was unbelievable for Queensland, he was unbelievable for the Bronx, he was unbelievable for the Dragons. Not the late stint for the Bronx, the earlier stint. G'day from beautiful Kefalonia, everyone. Blaze, your head must have exploded yesterday following the last 10 minutes of the Titans game. Superb result, what a winning try. What a moment, sir. What a moment. I'm sure it's a beautiful day in Kefalonia, in Grecia. Third tackle out the 30. Look forward to the day I get there. Oh, the winner he got in 2015. Oh, the winner he got in 2015? Oh, Vershark. Sorry, I'm thinking about 2023. No, the 2024, his final game of his career when he clutched up against Cronulla in Cronulla to win that game in the last seconds by getting a try assist. I thought that's what you were talking about. I can't remember the one in 2015 you're talking about. Jock Madden's going to kick this one down to the Panthers at the 20 where Jenkins will grab it. And he's going to bring it out now to the 25 on first tackle. What was I thinking? I was thinking about something. Again, I'm super tired, so I've forgotten what I was thinking about just then. Second tackle at the 35 was relevant, though. Michael says he loves following Wayne Bennett. Of course. Stacey Martin says, I'm watching him commentate and watching the teams play. Me prove Panthers are wearing pink. Yes, the Panthers are wearing pink. Third tackle here at the 44. And they'll go to the right-hand side to Isaiah Yeo. Isaiah Yeo, Nathan Cleary. Cleary, now to Liam Martin. And Liam Martin will be taken down to the 50 on fourth tackle. That's the best way to watch the stream, Stacey. If you're able to watch the game and use me as the live commentary with the interactive commentary, that's the best way to watch it. If you have the ability to do that. Fifth tackle now and free to Lussick to Nathan Cleary. And Cleary's going to whack that ball up in the air. The chase here from the Panthers is good. But the Dream Buller gets the ball here at the 15. I'm going to have to time you out here, Muzamal, unfortunately. You just don't spam, brother. Just don't spam. Nate says Gaz is on the bacon and vinegar in the sun. Surely he's not taken his absolutely diabolical exploits of bacon and vinegar in the morning to Greece. Don't do it to the Greeks, man. Just have a souvlaki, have a gyros, and just enjoy your time. Don't start with the bacon and vinegar stuff, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it to him. Happy Psychotomy South, fifth tackle here at the 50. 6 again for the Tigers. I'll take that. They will take that. Why did Musma just say he can't? Stop it. G'day, guys. So good down here, mate. I hope you are. We are all good. Well, we'll see if you're saying the same thing in about 2 hours' time when the Dragons play the Sharkies. No, third tackle here at the 40. This is the first time I've seen the Tigers in the attacking half the whole game so far. 4th tackle at the 30. Tackling the opposition time, tackling the opposition 20 times to the Panthers, 0 times to the Tigers. This might be the first time. It's not going to be. 5th tackle here at the 30. 5th tackle at the 30. Give it to Terrell May. And Terrell May then gets it off to the Dream Buller. Then to Kai Pearce-Paul. This is 5th tackle, by the way. Oh, you're kidding. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Finally, Jock Madden's going to get this ball and then boot it up. And the Panthers, Brian Tuttle grabs it. And there's a penalty for sure. That should be a penalty against the Panthers for sure. I can't believe it hasn't been called. And Brian Tuttle brings his ball to the 30 on first tackle. How is Alamotti not been called for an escort against Makasini just now? All right, so they'll get this ball here. Second tackle to the 40. UM. 14 and a half minutes to go here of the first half. And now Dylan Edwards is going to bring this ball to the halfway point. Gary says, looking beautiful sunrise over the mountains by the sea. Yeah, I've got a beautiful, beautiful sun right now. Beautiful sun here in Nha Trang in Vietnam. How much crowd are you expecting for tomorrow? Should be a great crowd. What is the... Oh, Cleary's away right through the line. Oh, no, Tigers. Cleary. Isaiah. Try time for Isaiah. Nathan Cleary might get 200 points on Supercoach today. He may get 200 points. This is an unbelievable game. 28-0 with the kick to come. It's about to be 30-0. There is still 13 and a half minutes to go here the first half. The Panthers are running rampant. They are running absolutely rampant right now. Just That Guy says, good on the Titans last night. Def can win the comp. Just That Guy, they do win the comp. They're in first place for a reason, mate. You know, the Panthers, they need to win this game to get out of fourth last. You know, they might be able to put on a bit of a run and maybe face the Titans in the grand final, which they'll lose. But, you know, like the Titans are top of the table for a reason, man. So, yeah, of course they can win a comp, especially with a big win like last night. Fred says, I'm a bias as they come, but how that wasn't a penalty conceded from Alamotti is disgraceful. This is what I'm saying, Fred. Yeah, I think the Tigers have been harshly done by there. At the end of the day, their game has been pathetic. This has been a really poor performance from the Tigers overall, and the Panthers have been absolutely perfection so far. With that being said, though, yes, I'm surprised that wasn't an escort against Paul Alamotti. Oh, does he put it down? Okay, he does get down. He does get down. Jess says, have a lovely holiday. I'm in Paris with Wigan. Head spinning after an amazing night. Yeah, I think it was Seb Watson when we were streaming the Australia vs Switzerland game early this morning. Seb Watson was saying that you guys won like 40-14 or something like that. You had a massive result. It was massive. Tiger Hood says, I did say 40 from the Panthers. Well, thank you, Tiger Hood, for an electric opinion there. We were saying that if the Tigers don't come with their defense, they'll get slapped here today, and they didn't come with their defense, and they are getting slapped here. I had a bit of belief that maybe the Tigers would be able to show their defense that they've shown throughout this year, but this team, when they don't have their full strength lineup in, are pathetic defensively. When they have their full strength lineup in, they have a bit of confidence, but this Tigers team is falling off an absolute cliff right now, unfortunately. So there's going to be a report for Football there. I think he'd be completely fine. Completely fine. So the Panthers are going to receive this ball at the 3. 12 minutes gone in the first half. You can talk about the Fitty Bomb now, by the way, because they're already at 30. I smell a 60 Bomb. 60 Bomb is actually a 60 Schlammer. It's Thrifty 30, friggin' 40, Fitty Bomber, 60 Schlammer, Sexy 70, Electric 80, Naughty 90, Horny Hunch. That's it. Nathan Cleary gets it out to Case McLean. Oh, Turuva's been absolutely humiliated there. And McLean's going to get this ball to the 45 on third tackle. And they'll go out to Isaiah Papali'i. Papali'i runs his ball into the line. 4 tackle. 6 line breaks to 0. There's still 11 and a half minutes to go in the first half. This is diabolical. Panthers at the 40. Fit tackle. Who beats Penrith this year in the grand final? Who beats them? On a long-term season? Oh, Cleary. Scotty Sorensen. He passes that ball to Alamotti. Oh my gosh, they're going to score again, are they? That's going to be a drop ball here from the Tigers. It's going to go backwards, and then I think he's knocked it on there. Oh my gosh, he's offloaded the ball again. They've said it's backwards. It's fine. Trent Bullard might get away here. No, taking another 30. Tigers, you are getting so lucky. If Scotty Sorensen holds that ball and doesn't pass it, he breaks away for a line break there, and Cleary would have scored under the post. Rage says, difference in the Panthers' motivation in this game and the one against the Dragons is quite apparent. Reckon State of Origin Game 2 has anything to do with it? No, I think that they just, against the Dragons, expected to win. I think they knew that they were going to go in and just get an easy win, and it was relatively close because of that. You can never, ever have an expectation as a winner as a player. As fans, you can have whatever expectations you damn well please. As players, you are still playing against grown men who are getting professionally paid to play the game of rugby league. Torova is going to be at the 18 on 4 tackle. The moment you underestimate a team is the moment you lose. And they clicked on late there once they realised the Dragons were actually putting in an effort. But again, I thought that was pretty dodgy. Like, it really did look like the Panthers didn't put any effort into that Dragons game. But the way they played the Wires last week was scary. And then this is terrifying right now. And a bomb goes up, knocked back here for the Tigers. Royce Hunt gets the offload away to Seyfarth. Seyfarth to the 20. Kai Pearce-Paul, he'll kick this ball into the corner, and that's going to be Panthers ball at 10. That's why India lose so many big games in cricket. 100%, Serpent. 100%. That is the reason why India typically lose so many big games in cricket. It's why Fiji, a lot of the time, lose a lot of big games in rugby sevens. I don't really think there is... I think South Africa have a massive, massive reputation for really treating every game as it comes in rugby union. I don't really think there's a rugby union team that have this thought process. I don't think England, with football, is because of this. I just think that they're overhyped from their own media, and their media the media deliberately overhype their football team. 10 minutes ago, the first half, guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here. The media deliberately hype up their team because they know they're going to be able to get the clicks when they roast the living shit out of them at the end of the tournament. That's what England media's done. It's so dodgy. They deliberately hype the living shit out of it because they know they're going to get the clicks once they can roast the living shit out of them after the tournament finishes and they don't win it. Asmik says, would you rather win a grand final by like 20 or 1? For me, 1, it would be a lot more fun, but don't think my heart can handle a close granny. I don't give a fuck in regards to 20 or 1. I don't give a shit. if it is 100 or 1, I do not care. I would actually probably, to specify an answer to your question, I would say 20 because I don't want to have a heart attack. Yeah, sure, if you win that game, unbelievable, best moment of your life. But it's going to be the best moment of your life regardless. It's going to be an unbelievable moment if you win by 20 or 1. Who gives a shit? So I will say 20 because I would rather not have a heart attack. You guys know me. Look at me yesterday in a round 14 game as we're second last against the Broncos team that's, in the bottom 8 themselves. Couldn't you imagine me in a grand final and it comes down to 1 point? Get out of my face. Get out of my face. I would die that day. If we win, I die. If we're down by 1, we lose if we're in a close game like that, I don't even know if I last it to the 80th minute. I don't even know if I last it to see the field goal. My heart wouldn't take it. And that's why I think I think God looks after me. I think the reason why the Titans just haven't been successful is because God knows I'm not surviving the night. Third tackle here at the 45, Paul Alamotti. I love a close game if it's not my team playing. Exactly right, Jess. I love a close game if it's my team playing, we win. But that comes down to the result at the end. Case McLean here at the 40, and he will be at the 30 now on 4 tackle. What an insane first half this has been from Penrith, and what a diabolical first half this has been from West Tigers. Freddie Lussick out to Scotty Sorensen. He'll go to this ball to the 18 on 5th tackle. Freddie Lussick to Nathan Cleary. Oh my God, Nathan Cleary. Oh, it's a forward pass. I was going to say, if that was a try, that might have been the greatest pass I've ever seen. But he's called it a forward pass here. I want to see a replay because this looked good for me. Nathan Cleary at the 15. No way. No way. No way for mine. I thought that was a brilliant pass. No way is that a forward pass for mine. Nah. Amazing that touch is called forward pass for that, but they don't call forward passes majority of the time. Jess says, Panthers rubbish, no try in the last 3 minutes. What sort of a team are you? Well, they literally just scored, but the touchies robbed them. Touchies robbed them of a try there. That pass from Nathan Cleary was unbelievable. If it was Reese, it would have been a try. Yeah, it's a try in Denver. It's a try in Suncorp Stadium, Denver. So they go to the right, Jerome Buller, and then it's Kai Pearce-Paul at the 45, fit tackle. Also, by the way, how on earth that wasn't called a forward pass to Josiah Katapani last night will do me. It's the same thing as 2024. I was at this game. We won 38-36. The Broncos made a pass when they were down by 2, like a minute to go. Josiah Katapani makes a break. Forward pass by a mile, didn't get called. We held out for the win. Last night, we've seen a massive forward pass to Josiah Katapani with a minute to go, down by 5, and doesn't get called again. I got to be honest with you, touchies amaze me that you. I just don't think that Belinda. I think it was Belinda. It amazes me that now we're at a point where referees don't want to make a call because of the fear of being wrong. Your job is to still make the call regardless. If you're wrong, you're wrong, and we will have a crack at you for it. But that's your responsibility as a referee to get it right. Just because you don't want to get a call wrong doesn't mean you can't make the calls. And that is a couple of games now at Suncorp where I've noticed that. And it's been to Josiah Katapani both times. It's not Katapani's fault. It's to Katapani both times. And both times weren't called. And we nearly lost both those games on the back of it. It's got a happy Broncos is a happy NRL. Yeah, agree. A successful Broncos is a successful NRL. Because the financials they receive out of the... Oh, he's thrown an intercept here. Panthers, Brian Tuttle. Is it ball don't lie moment? Yeah, it's a ball don't lie moment. Brian Tuttle try time. Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. Brian Tuttle try time, 34-0 with the kick to come. Ball never lies. It never does. Never, never, never lies. Jerome Luai's thrown an intercept. And it will be try time here for the Panthers. Do you think if Newcastle are going good, the league's good? So 34-0 here, Panthers. Kick to come. Brian Tuttle try. I might ruffle a few feathers here with Knights fans, but I'm going to say not necessarily. I think for pure passionate rugby league aficionados, like people who truly love the game and are regulars and watch the game, they love when Newcastle are going well because it's a niche team in a niche area. It's not a major Sydney team or a Brisbane Broncos or whatnot, or a Melbourne Storm. I think that the passionate, true rugby league fans love it when Newcastle are going well, and I think it's an exciting game for the true fans of rugby league. I don't think that casuals give a shit. And again, that's not me trying to insult Newcastle here. I don't think casuals give a shit. It's the same thing with Canberra. When Canberra are going well, I think the true rugby league fans enjoy it because it's a niche team in a niche area of Australia. But I don't think that you're ever going to see casuals give a shit about the Raiders, if you know what I'm saying. So the Knights and the Raiders are on a similar level there. I think that if the Gold Coast were ever successful, you would see one of the biggest parties that you ever see. Because the Gold Coast is a party town, right? 3 minutes to go here, the first half, 36-0. The Gold Coast is a party town. That place will light up like no tomorrow, man. That's why I don't understand how we haven't received the agenda like other teams have received to get their premiership over the line. I don't understand it because I know that the way that the Gold Coast would light up with casuals and also, the true fans of rugby league being like, shit, this team is always shit house and now they're good, they'll back them in. And you'll see everyone backing in the Gold Coast, which would be awesome. But I'm telling you, the biggest party that you will see will come from a Gold Coast being successful. William says, get the fraud, get the scam, get the spoon, get F Tigers. William, man, I know how you feel, bro. I do know how you feel. This is poor, unfortunately for you. This is poor. Your fans deserve better. Jerome Luai still a Penrith sleeper agent? Yeah, that was really bad. 3 minutes to go here. We might see 40 in the first half, lads. We may see 40 in the first half, and my Supercoach team right now is going gangbusters with Cleary as captain, and Brian Tuttle scoring that try just now. Scotty Sorensen, the 15. Titans are probably the most niche team in the league. Location-wise, no way. Gold Coast is not a niche. No, it's not really a niche place. Newcastle is. Canberra is. I wouldn't class the Gold Coast as a niche place. Would anyone disagree? I wouldn't say Gold Coast is niche. In terms of teams-wise, absolutely. In terms of the team and the history and whatnot, yes. In terms of location, I wouldn't say the Gold Coast is niche whatsoever. Redcliffe's the most niche, but they're not Redcliffe. I call them the Redcliffe Dolphins, but they're not Redcliffe. They're called the Dolphins. The only reason that they're titled Redcliffe Dolphins is so that I can give them a name. They don't have a name. They are literally called the Dolphins. They are just a Brisbane team. Quite literally, they're just a Brisbane team who play out of Redcliffe occasionally. Peak Video says, how long do these games last? Well, we've got 2 minutes left of the first half here, man. Then we've got 40 minutes. We've got a 10-minute break for half-time, and then we'll have another 40-minute stanza. So there is still 42 minutes to go here of the game, but we've still got about, 52 minutes to nearly an hour of the game playing. Then we've got Sharks Dragons right after this. But, there's a long way to go here. The Tigers might genuinely get done by 60 if they keep like this. But the issue for the Tigers... the issue for the Panthers, is that their second halves aren't usually great. But the issue for the Tigers is that they've been so shit ass today that the Panthers could still absolutely roll them through. The amount of tackles the Tigers had to make has just been undeniable. Jerome Luai, fit tackle now at the 50. What are the Dolphins in the comp for? Get them out of Brisbane. We don't want them. Yeah, well, they are technically just a Brisbane team until they name themselves Moreton Bay or Redcliffe or Sunshine Coast. Don't care what you call yourselves, but call yourselves something. That's why we'll call them the Redcliffe Dolphins, because they're Queensland Cup team until proven otherwise. Nintendo says Gold Coast also hasn't had any professional sports team be successful, so the first one to win a premiership will cause a huge party. Yeah, it will. I still don't think that Gold Coast will be too wild for the Sunnies. I think that people will kind of care, but not really care. The Titans are the one that the Gold Coast will go nuts for. And Alamotti will be the 45 for tackle. Do you reckon any team will get 100 points again? Again, there's never been a team that's gotten 100 points. Blaze Talangi with the ball at the 50. Fit tackle now. Go for a 2-point field goal from 50 out. Nathan Cleary, you won't, you cat. You won't. Nathan Cleary, 45. Yeah, exactly what I thought. Oh, grubber from Dylan Edwards. Oh, they're very lucky. That was a great kick from Nathan Cleary, Dylan Edwards. Just unlucky that the ball bounced just a little bit too much for Edwards to get a good pass away. Second tackle for the Tigers at 30. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous right now. Tigers, Alex Seyfarth, he will get taken down here at the 40. Panthers usually slow down second half. Kevin says just a little bit of bullshit. There's no niche in Nui. Why? Why would you say... I would say Newcastle is not a major city. In regards to the terms of Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, I would say that Gold Coast and the Tigers are booing here. Newcastle's a major city, don't get me wrong. I would say that people won't typically think of Newcastle unless it's with rugby league for the most part. Would you disagree with that? Newcastle's a hard-working town. And it's really underrated in my opinion. I love going to Newcastle for away trips back in the day. But I wouldn't say that Newcastle is a popular destination. And that's why I would put it on the niche level. I'd say Canberra is definitely way more niche. But I think you saying it's bullshit is quite harsh. Because again, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane are big cities, major cities. Townsville would be a niche as well, for sure. We're talking about locations here, man. I'd say Townsville is more niche than Newcastle, though. And same with Canberra. Auckland and Gold Coast would be on similar levels, in my opinion. But if you want to put Auckland alongside Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne, you can. But no, I think that's unfair to say that they're not niche. I think it would be. But anyway, it's half-time, 36-0 here to the Panthers, and it's just been ridiculous. It's just been way too easy. Way too easy. Let's look at these stats. So we're going to see some diabolical stats here. This is going to be disgusting. So, oh my gosh. Trey Horn says, as a non-Aussie, if someone said they were in Newcastle, I would think of England. That's exactly kind of my point. And it's not a disrespectful thing to say about Newcastle. We're not disrespecting Newcastle. It's just the location isn't like it's a hard way to put it. It's a hard way to explain it, but it's not regarded as a lot of these other places that we're speaking about, right? But anyway, again, I think it's underrated. But let's go into the halftime stats here. So guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new around here, and let's run through it. So the Panthers 36, the Tigers 0 at halftime. Try scores for the Panthers: Alamotti, Nathan Cleary, Freddie Lussick, Thomas Jenkins, Isaiah Yon, Brian To'o. 6 different try scorers here, and Cleary is absolutely perfect. 6 for 6 on the conversions. Nathan Cleary right now on Supercoach is already... He's already at halftime on 94. already at 94 at halftime. That is outrageous. That is outrageous, man. Possession-wise, yikes, 63%. 63% here for the Panthers, 37% for the Tigers. That's the most possession you're going to see, really. 63% is just ridiculous. And it will come down to the completion rate for the Tigers as well. Time of possession, you're looking for 25 minutes, 17 minutes for the Panthers, 10 minutes and 42 seconds here for the Tigers. That's 27 minutes, nearly 28 minutes. Very healthy amount of gameplay here. So there's not a great deal of penalties that are happening. Actually, has there even been any penalties? There hasn't been a single penalty in this game. There's been ruck infringements for 6 agains, but there hasn't been a penalty. Love that. Love that. That's why you're seeing such a healthy time of possession, despite the fact there's been so many tries scored. Completion rate. The Tigers are 68%. 80% is what you're looking for. 80%. They're at 68%, 11 for 16. It's better than the 25% they started off with 1 for 4 to start the game. Better than the 50%. Now it's 68%. Still shithouse. Not good enough. Not 80%. Panthers, basically perfect. 91%, 21 from 23. You're very happy with that. Now, Tigers fans, put a seatbelt on because I'm about to break your heart and you're about to go on a bumpy ride here in a car crash when I talk about these run meters. Runs, 72 runs here for the Tigers. 510 run meters. And that's just updated. You were originally in 464. 72 for 510 is 210 meters behind the 10 meters in average per run that you're looking for. 510 meters is double and a bit less than what the Panthers have right now. Double and a bit. The Panthers have doubled and a bit what you have. 72 for 511 is not good enough. 511 now. They got 1 extra meter. Will be 127 runs here for the Panthers. 1,185 run meters. That is 674 meters above. 674 meters above where the Tigers are at right now. Now, granted, they've got 55 extra runs, but completion rate's a big part of that, and the Panthers have just been absolutely dominant with it. But 1,185, anything above 1,000 is amazing. They're above that by 185. They're still 95 or 85 meters behind the 10 meters in average per run that you're looking for, but who gives a shit? 1,185 is just outrageous. So that the Panthers have just dominated them in every sense of the word. That is the most dominant run meter statistic you will see ever. Post-contact meters, 311 here for the Panthers, 177 for the Tigers. Okay, with the 54, 55 extra runs that you'd give the Tigers to equal it out, you'd say that maybe the Tigers are going to go above that 311. Actually, I would say that's not actually that impressive from the Panthers. 311 post-contact is not that impressive with 127 runs. I'd actually say that's disappointing. I don't think they're doing too well in the post-contact. I would say with 55 extra runs, the Tigers would probably be maybe more sort of around the 350. Like, for example, if you... No, they'd probably be about 320, 330. Yeah, I think the Tigers are doing better with the post-contact. They just don't have the ball. That's not that great for the Panthers. 127 for 311 on post-contact is not spectacular. We go to the line breaks. Wow. 7-0 for the Panthers. 7-0 tackle breaks. 26 for the Panthers, 9 for the Tigers. Oh my gosh. Average set distance. 25 meters and below is pathetic. Turn the stream off. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. And 45 to 50 is fantastic. 50 plus is basically perfect. 31.97 for the Tigers is underwhelming. Mid-range of underwhelming, but underwhelming. The Panthers are at 51.53, so they are in the perfect category. They are making over 50 meters per set. They are currently beating out the Tigers per set on average by 20 meters. 20. The Panthers are beating out the Tigers per set on average by 20 meters. Shit whiz. Average playable speed, 3.19 seconds below is extremely fast, 3.2 to 3.39 is fast, 3.4 to 3.59 is average, 3.6 to 3.79 is slow, and 3.8 above is extremely slow. Average playable speed for the Tigers is 3.58, average, getting close to slow, but average. 3.2 seconds for the Panthers is on the right on the dot of extremely fast and fast. They're in the technical fast category, but they are 0.01 away from being extremely fast. They're just absolutely crushing them here. That is 0.38 seconds in front, 0.38 seconds in front, which is a big gap in rugby league. Offload 7-1 to the Tigers. Interesting. One of the tries for the Panthers have actually come up for an offload from the Tigers, but 7-1 to the Tigers. That's a healthy number for the Tigers. It's really low for the Panthers, but they don't need it, clearly. You go to the kick refusal, 67% for Penrith, 50% here for the Tigers. And then you go to the effective tackle percentage. 85% and below is awful. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. 88% to 90% is hitting the marker. And 90% and above is basically perfect. 88.4% here for the Tigers is actually pretty good defensively. You're not that upset about it. You're pretty content with it. It's hitting the marker. 221 tackles made is what we'll say in that first 10. It's happened. 221 tackles made is above the average of 160 to 180 that you'll usually see by 41. They have made a lot of tackles in this first half. 221 is really high. Missed tackles is 26, which is above the average of 15 to 17 by 9. It's not that bad when you think about how many tackles they've made, but it's still a lot of missed tackles, and the ineffective tackles is 3. That's amazing. 5 to 7 ineffective tackles is the average. There are 3. That's 2 underneath the average with 41 extra tackles made to the average. That's amazing, 3 ineffective tackles. So 29 bad tackles in the first half with a ridiculous 221 tackles made is a good stat for 88.4%. You're pretty happy with it. You go to the Penrith Panthers, 86.78%. That's interesting. That's poor. That's underwhelming. 151 tackles made is below the typical 160 to 180. 9 missed tackles is really good. It's below the typical average of 15 to 17 by 6. But the ineffective tackles, what? 14. 14 ineffective tackles from Penrith. The average is 5 to 7. They have doubled the average here for ineffective tackles. What? They've got 23 bad tackles in the first half with a below average 151 tackles made, whilst the Tigers have got 29 with an above average of 221 by 41 tackles made in the average. That's really good there for the Tigers, and they're down 36 to 0. And that's pretty poor for the Panthers, and they're up 36 to 0. That's why stats don't always mean everything. Stats are important to read. You look at the eye test, you look at the score, you look at the stats, and then you combine them to see what's going on. But that's interesting. The Panthers have not been great defensively here, despite the fact they're leading 36 to 0. You go to the negative play. 3 and below is really good. 4 to 6 is average, and 7 above is awful. Well, 6 errors is on the higher end of average for the Tigers. It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. 3 errors for the Panthers is really good. Like, the Roosters would have had 14 errors by this point. Or Titans would have had like 100. 6 errors is not that bad, especially being down 36-0. I'm telling you, this Panthers team right now, if they don't win the comp this year, I am just bewildered. But I will be bewildered in the fall off. I'll be bewildered in the drop off because the run meters have been so incredible for the Penrith Panthers. Outside of that, these stats don't align with a 36-0 game outside of the run meters. Because 6-3 is not that bad. Ruck infringements, 2-2, equal. There's no penalties in this game. Inside 10 metres is 1-0 against the Panthers. Against the Panthers. And on reports is 1-0 for the Tigers. These stats don't really align with this scoreline. Just down to the possession. And that's what the Panthers do with their high-intensity pressure from the outset. The completion rate is in favour of the Panthers. The possession is obviously in favour. The run meters are. I would say the post-contact meters on an equal basis are not. I would say the Tigers actually would be winning the post-contact if they had the same amount of ball. Nowhere near in regards to run meters, though. They're being beaten in the middle. They're just simply being beaten by the big men in the middle. And they're just getting absolutely run amok at the moment. Because, again, a lot of offloads. Defense is actually better on an effective tackle percentage basis. And I would look at these stats and I would go, this looks like, I don't know, those run meters are so dominant. I'd say this more so looks like a 24-6 game or even a 30-6 game rather than a 36-0 game. That's what I would, but the line breaks really take it away too. No, like it's deserving. It's absolutely deserving, don't get me wrong. It's just there are some stats here that do align with it being a bit weird that it's 36-0 of all things. But this is what Panthers do in first halves. Brent says, depends when you go, Daniel. There is some nice surf beaches there too. Well, Daniel says, if I visited Newcastle, New South Wales, what would I do for entertainment other than watch the Knights? They've got a beautiful beach there. They've also got a beautiful ocean pool, topless ocean pool there, which is actually really nice. It's a good vibe, Newcastle. It is. I think it's an underrated vibe. So yeah, look, I think that it's definitely a place that you want to check out. It is a niche place. It is more niche than the other places like your main cities and your Gold Coast and the likes. It definitely is niche. It's not an insult to say that. But yeah, look, I would say it's relatively underrated. And the only problem is that they're always doing construction there, I would say. They are always doing construction. But outside of that, I do like Newcastle. Kevin says it's not the go-to everyone thinks it is, like finding some kind of art piece out of iron. What was I trying, like a steel city? It's really like a hard-working city. It is not a construction city, even though there's a lot of construction there always. I just don't know what the word is right now. I don't know what the word is. It's like a big version of Nudgee in a way, but with an actual beautiful with a lot of beautiful beaches there. Nudgee in Brisbane. What's the word for that? Industrial. Newcastle's a very industrial town. But again, it has some beautiful beaches and again has some really cool things to do there. But it's not like a Gold Coast that has your beach, your mountains, your party, your theme parks, your everything. Like Gold Coast has so much to do. That's why it's a massive tourist destination comparatively to Newcastle. That's kind of where I'm drawing the line there between niche and major tourist destination that people think about. Juana says, come on, Panthers, put 1 try. Bro, they've put 6 tries. What do you mean? Brother, it's 36-0. What do you mean, put 1 try? It's 36-0 to Penrith right now. You're asking for a bit much here, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? A bit too far, Brenton. I just want to watch, not touch. Daniel says they have strip bars there. I'm sure they do. Especially for an industrial town like Newcastle. Jim the second half is about to get started here, guys. The Panthers are about to kick this ball off into the Tigers. Jim says this Panthers team can beat the primetime 8 in a row. Stop it. This Panthers team can beat the primetime 8 in a row Maroon side of the State of Origin easy. Mate, most of this Panthers team were the 2020 Origin team that lost to Edric Lee. Brenko Lee. Most of the Panthers team lost to them. This Panthers team has packed out the team of New South Wales for years now, and they lost last year to Queensland. Let's not talk. You're talking about Cameron Smith, Billy Slater, Jonathan Thurston, Cooper Cronk, Greg Inglis, primetime Darius Boyd. And what are we doing? Corey Parker, he was unbelievable. Very underrated player, Corey Parker. Bit of a knob in the media, but when it comes to a player, he was unbelievable for the Broncos and for Queensland. What are we doing? Same beating the Queensland 8 in a row team. Get a grip, man. So it says first Broncos fans, now Tigers fans. Assume the position, Sharks fans. Assume the position. Oh, do the Panthers play the Sharks next week, do they? Close game, Mike. Well, yeah, look, very tight. We'll just have to see if the Tigers can score first in the second half to see if they lose by 80 or 90. Dream Baller gives it off to Connor South, who kicks this ball up at the 10. Case McLean does catch it with a bobble, but it'll be first tackle here for the Panthers at the 10. Up the Gold Coast Titans, do you think the Tigers can come back? The biggest comeback of all time was 26-0. It's now 36-0. You think that I think the Tigers can come back? You may. I just want to see them have a good second half because Panthers aren't usually a good second half team. This may be classed as it's not a tackle in it. It really shouldn't be, but there's a stoppage in the clock right now. I think there's an injury here to Casey McLean. He's come down hard on his left leg there. Is that what's happened here? I'm a bit confused. Yeah, it's his left ankle. He's come down hard on his left ankle. Tiger says, Inglis, Slater, Cronk, Smith. Geez, that's 4 names, greatest of all time. That's just 4 of them. Maroons' 8 in a row team was stacked. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Sammy Thaiday was fantastic as well. Who was the other back rower? You had your GIs. The early parts, you had your Gordon Tallises and your Petro 70 cents a litres and Darren Lockyer. Sean Berrigan was great back in the day. Tony says first, that's right. Brenton says, claws out, claws tucked away. Claws out said, I'm hating life right now. I've been in your position before. Jake says, Newcastle's still too expensive. The whole of Australia's expensive, man. Working class. Working class is a great way to put it, Brett, but industrial was the word I'm looking for. Like, Chargetown Tigers, they could score here. No. Penalty to the Panthers. Mav Guy will give away a penalty, and the Panthers will, on fifth tackle, get away with trouble. Get away from trouble. It was contact through the leg. Jack Lewis says, just turned on. Did Tigers play first half with a few yellows? No, the Tigers haven't turned up here today, mate. So this is the first half for them. So currently it's 0-0 for the Tigers. It's 36-0 for everybody else, but for the Tigers, it's currently 0-0. Cleary's leg's okay. Royce Hunt has come off the field here. God bless him. Terrell May hat-trick and coming for Benji. Okay. All right, good luck. Please be okay, Casey Maguire. We need you for Origin. Big Casey Maguire fan. Massive Casey Maguire fan. First tackle now for the Panthers at the 42. And they'll get it up to Scotty Sorensen, who'll be at the 35 now on second tackle. Don't forget Sharks Dragons right after this. Was it Josh Maguire? Josh Maguire wasn't back row, was he? He was front row. It was more forward, wasn't he? Oh, that's going to be strip. What are you doing, Jerome Luai? What? What are you doing, Jerome Luai? Oh, Tigers, you're going to give me an aneurysm. You're going to give me an aneurysm here today. You are. You're going to give me an aneurysm today. What on earth did I just witness? There was like 3 plays in the tackle and he's just cleanly grabbed it and raked it out. What's he doing? What's he doing? First tackle with the Panthers. They give it across to Scotty Sorensen. Now second tackle here at the 8. I don't know. I'll have to see if Case McLean's on the field. Yeah, don't know about that comment, Laurie. Don't know about that one. Agree with you there, Brenton. Isaiah Yo to Scotty Sorensen. When I see Case McLean, I'll let you know. Again, day 4,332,000 in a row of asking you to change your name, please. They go to Isaiah Yo. Casey McLean, I think he's on the field. Yeah, he is. He's on the field. Nathan Cleary, short ball to Isaiah Papali'i. He'll be 7 meters out of the line, fit tackle. Blaze Salangi, short side, Nathan Cleary. Nothing going on there. He'll kick this ball across. It's a broken down play. Panthers will drop it backwards. Still fit tackle here. Gets the offload away to Zayo. Nathan Cleary. Isaiah Papali'i. Papali'i kicks his ball into the corner. Jenkins coming through. Falatino Tavana gets his ball to 5. First tackle. Jimmy James says, him just being him, Luai just being Luai. That is a great point. And then he was laughing about it too. Yeah, no, it's very funny right now, Luai. Yeah, Jerome, no, incredible scenes. You are losing. That's a penalty here to the Tigers. No, it's not. They're just playing on to play the ball again. That's incredible stuff from Jerome Luai. He intentionally gives away a rake penalty with 3 players in the tackle and then laughs about it while his team is currently down 36 points to 0. Unbelievable stuff there by Jerome. Royce Hunt, unfortunately, showed a possible peck there. God bless him. Trey Horn says, just put a bet on To'o, Alamalti, and Jenkins to get a multi. I'm looking forward to the 10%. Daniel Bay says, us Brummies would fit in well in Newcastle, but I'll be at home in any city that has good fish and chips and where it doesn't rain much. Well, if you prefer calling it fish and chips, great. If you want to call it fish and chips, you can head off to maybe Hamilton or Auckland or maybe even Wellington. First tackle now at the 25. Toprak says, everything runs through Cleary. If he leaves, what team can form a system around aside from the Warriors? What? Why is it just the Warriors? What have you based that on? What have you based that on in regards to why it's only the Warriors that Nathan Cleary would be able to work with? There's going to be a knock-on here from the Panthers, and it'll be Tigers bought the 40. Weather report from the UK. It's been raining here, and it's summer bloody hell. Oh, shock horror. Shock horror, Daniel. My gosh, I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight knowing that it's raining in England. Water is wet. Well, it's actually not. Water is not wet, technically, because it's the process. The sky is blue. It's actually technically not. Water is water. How about that? Grass is green, but sometimes it can be brown. But with England, it's always raining. England and rain go together like the most obvious thing that's ever existed. And penalty here to the Tigers in the 40. I'd rather bangers and mash. Love a good bangers and mash. Steve says Tigers ain't making the 8. I'm having my doubts, yeah. I'm having my doubts. It's not just because of this game. It's also because of the Sharks, the Storm, and the Manly games where they showed no resilience. I know injuries, but they showed no resilience. Bulldogs game was okay, but the Bulldogs are third last for a reason right now, and potentially second last if they lose to the Eels tomorrow. Will be second last if they lose to the Eels tomorrow. Bangers and mash, awesome, mate. Love it. Love it. Actually, I was walking here in the train yesterday and saw a German Sausage House, love a good German sausage, and the love of Fontaine, tomato try, maybe? No, he'll be taking out the 10-second tackle. Chunky says, well, they're injuries. Sure, but they're still professionally played McLean comes off the field, by the way, for whoever was asking before. Tungo comes on. So that means there is an injury here for McLean. Third tackle for the Tigers at 15. But the Panthers had no Isaiah Yeo, Nathan Cleary, and Brian Tuttle last week, and they took it to the Warriors, who are in second position. So without players, you still should have the professionally played players in the depth. And right now, we're clearly seeing the Tigers don't have the depth. And mind you, the Tigers came fifth last year, equal fourth last with the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The Tigers had the least amount of injuries in the competition by over 220 to the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs had 280, 300 collective injuries. Tigers had like 50. Across the year and still finished equal with them. So the depth isn't there, man. And I did actually speak about this pre-season as well. I said if Isaac Tungo gets his ball to 15 first tackle, the depth isn't there. That's on the club. That's a responsibility of the club. You are still paying these players to be professionally paid players who are meant to come in if you do have injuries, because injuries are a part of the game. But the organisation hasn't set this club up well enough to have the depth to be able to provide. Now, they are coming out of a really poor couple of years in 2022, 2023, and 2024. And then last year was a positive, but there was also a caveat in regards to that positive that no one wanted to listen to me about. And you're seeing it right now. People didn't like it. They think that it's a penalty to the Panthers here at 45. Tigers fans didn't like it and thought that I was just hating the club. I actually like the Tigers and would have liked to see them successful. Panthers penalty at the 45. Even though that your fans can really be in how you sound. But I actually do like the Tigers. But the observation was that this club has zero depth. And you cannot go against it right now. Because based off of the injuries this year, you have been slaughtered against the Sharks, who were a scam team at the time too, mind you. You've been slaughtered against Manly, who are going well, but also haven't really played anybody of significant note besides the Panthers, who they did lose to. And then the Storm, who that was their first win in 8 rounds. And now you're playing the Panthers, this is relatively expected, but 36-0 in the first half should never be expected. Nathan Cleary, he'll get the offload away. And they'll be taken down here, Cogger at the 10. They go to Nathan Cleary, back here to Dylan Edwards. Would you disagree with that thought process? And if you do, why? Offload at the back. I think this is 6 again for the Panthers. No, still play on. No, 6 again. Cleary with a big dummy. And Sorensen's going to get this ball to the 11 on 4 tackle. We had 32 degrees here recently, but it didn't last. That's crazy. Had 32 degrees and rain same day. Amazing stuff. And knock on from Isaiah Yeo. 30 minutes to go here at the game, folks. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Sharks Dragons right for this, but this is the Panthers we know in the second halves. Just that, guys, and honestly, the Titans actually can win the comp after last night. They're a threat. They're never going to lose a game ever again, just that guy. They're never going to lose a game ever again, mate. We've got to be serious with ourselves, man. We've got to really start to knuckle down and recognize within ourselves that the Titans might just simply be the greatest team of all time. It might be. If you don't believe it, you're a hater. Come on. You're a hater. Really. Not you. If anyone doesn't believe it, you're a hater. Edson says, has there been any 20-degree water breaks yet or nah? That was so ridiculous. If you guys don't know, because America, the World Cup is for the Football World Cup, it's in the summer. There is water breaks, hydration breaks every 20 at the 20-minute mark in halftime and the 20-minute mark in the second half. So at the 65th minute mark, there is a hydration break. It was 20 degrees yesterday. There was a hydration break between Switzerland and Australia. It was a 20-degree game. Up his dichotomy, Sowers away, taking down to 42, fit tackle. There is a hydration break for every game. It was 20 degrees, man, in San Diego yesterday, or early this morning. Unbelievable. And it's for every game. 20 degrees. You're off your rocker. First tackler at the 15. But I liked it because ever since that first hydration break in the first half, Australia played much better after that. They were getting dominated the first 20, and that's when they conceded that goal to... I think it was Dioi who scored the goal, wasn't it, for Switzerland? But then ever since then, Australia obviously actually we I don't know if I'd say dominated the second half, but we were the much better team in the second half against Switzerland. Switzerland aren't an easy team to take down, especially with Granit Xhaka and Manuel Akanji. Dylan Edwards at the 35. He'll get it out to Blaze Talungi. They're away. Jenkins. Milky Jenkins. He's the way at the 35, and now we'll be at the 30 on fit tackle. Look at the laziness from the Tigers. They're tired. Nathan Cleary's going to run this ball into the line. Now he's going to kick this ball on an awkward one to Brian Toto. Where's the ball bounce going to happen? Brian Toto, take your shirt off and celebrate. That is unbelievable. Nathan Cleary, you are an absolute perfection of a player. Brian Toto, these steps are brilliant. The Tigers are tired. They're getting beaten by 60 today. That's a brilliant kick here from Nathan Cleary. I'm telling you, he could get 200 points in Supercoach today. He is already on 99 without that try assist and without probably the conversion he's about to make. That is such a good kick there. This is a masterclass, dude. It is. It really is. Cleary is a gun, Barnes. He will go down for mine as the best NRL player of all time. That doesn't mean best player of all time, because you do still need to see it really proven on a significant level on Origin on a consistent basis. But at the NRL, I think by the end of his career, there will be no argument. Brian Toto will also go down as one of, if not the best winger of all time in the NRL, because he adjusted this position. I do think that'll be more of a debate. I don't know if you're going to be able to really debate Nathan Cleary, especially if they go on with the premiership this year, and he's still got plenty of years left in him. You know, the 4 in a row for the Panthers, plus the 5 grand finals, and just the 5 grand finals in a row, but 4 premiership wins in a row to a prelim final, and then to, you know, say he goes and wins the grand final this year. Unreal. This game is sexy 70. I wouldn't put it past him, mate. I really wouldn't. Aussie Spaceman says, to Penrith ever lose again, only seeing Warriors or Manly beating them? People had this conversation at the beginning of the season. I kept saying they will lose at some point. I don't necessarily know if the Panthers will lose a game again this season. I think they will, though. I'll go and say somebody does. Because you got to remember, like, and this is not me trying to be biased or implement my own team here, but last year, the Panthers were up 24-0 against the Titans at halftime, and then went down 26-24, found a way to win through some really dodginess from their trainer, and some dodginess later on that game, but still won the game. But that can happen. Rugby league is still rugby league, and sometimes we'll just see the best team and the best players come in a bit underdone and not absolutely flying in a game. It does just happen. So I do fully expect that at some point we are going to see the Panthers lose again, and people will overrate it. With that being said, they play so well that I just don't know when. Yeah, no, it's good stuff, isn't it, Brooklyn? Congratulations, Titans, top of the ladder. No, it's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. Tomo says, while the Cleary is still on the field, games won, rest on your throne, have mercy. No. Ruthless teams are ruthless. Relentless teams are relentless. Third tackle now for the Panthers at the 33. And it will be Isaiah Yeo, and Yeo is now going to bring this ball to the 40 on 4 tackle. If Cleary wins Wally Lewis and Clive Churchill this year, he's that GOAT for me. You've always got to wait to the end of a career, but I won't say no to you, but you've always got to wait for the end of the career for mine. Nathan Cleary, he'll put up a bit of an awkward one here, and that's going to go over the sideline. Okay, that's it. He's off my top of the table ranking. He's gone. Can't see any other team beating them in the grand final. You can, though. We're all thinking about one right now. We're all thinking about one. Who's the only team that you think that could beat the Panthers in the grand final? We're all thinking of them. We're all thinking about one. I'm not going to say it. It's up to you guys. I know we're on the same wavelength here. Ethan says Broncos. The Broncos are shit house, mate. Dude says Titans, obviously. Josie Bus says Titans, of course. Of course. See, we're on the same wavelength. We get it. You know, we're rugby league fans. We get it. And he says Dragons. What are we doing? It's a better shout than the Broncos, but. So, third tackle, they get the offload away to Jerome Luai, and Luai's going to be at the 25 on 4 tackle. Terminal says Perth Bears. Middle child syndrome, Perth Bears. Middle child syndrome, that club. They go to Jock Madden, and Madden will be at the 20 on 5th tackle. Williams is Titans, baby. See, we're talking. We get it now. We get it. Matt just says Broncos sold my parlay. Well, I'm a Titans fan, so that makes me happy to hear. But it doesn't make me happy to hear that you lost money, but it makes me happy to hear that the Broncos lost. Brooklyn says, I don't even want to hear anyone say Reece Walsh is better than Billy Slater ever again. Who was saying that? Billy Slater had proven himself across many, many years, Reece Walsh has had one amazing second half of a season, which was one of the best seasons of all time for a player individually. But who has said that Reece Walsh is better than Billy Slater? Who said this? Isaiah Yeo gives it to Nathan Cleary. Brian To'o, he steps on the inside, and he'll be taken down at the offload away. And they're away. They're away again to the Panthers. Oh, too easy. Try time. Jack Cogger, not Jack Cole. Jack Cogger. Try time for the Panthers. It's 46-0 with 24 minutes to go here in this game. 46-0 with 24 minutes to go here of this game. Oh, my goodness. Kogamu says 70 bomb. It's called a sexy 70. 24 points in the space of 24 minutes. Don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. Do you think McLean will come back on and have him vice on Supercoach? No, probably not. Why would you? If he's got a little bit of an injury niggle, you may as well not. You're up 46-0. It's about to be probably 48-0. I really wouldn't be surprised if they do actually start to take off Nathan Cleary. I really wouldn't be surprised and just have Cogger and Blaze Lung in the halves. Jake's Tigers come back. Yeah, come back home, mate. Come back home. Schlemmer. Yeah, 60 Schlemmer's looking pretty likely here because the Tigers, they're exhausted and they're going to be even more exhausted and there's still plenty of time left. Hard day at the office for the Tigers. So they conceded 50 already this season. And then they conceded 46 and 48 in the next 2 weeks. Then they beat the Bulldogs by scoring 6 more points. And they're about to concede 50 again. Big yikes. Brent says, Jack Cogger, ex-Knight. We taught him all we know. Wasn't he Panthers, then Knights, then Panthers, though? Nathan Cleary here. Nathan Cleary to get the conversion, and he will put that bad boy right over the black dot. 48-0 to the Panthers. 48 points to 0. And Nathan Cleary is already on 114 on Supercoach. Already. And that's not including the kick that he just made. Cleary by Cap, by the way. What? Goodbye to the finals for the Tigers. It's looking unlikely, man. Their points differential is going to take a whopping hit here. A whopping hit. My goodness. I think they're making a statement. The Panthers Origin boys that watched Waz vs Panthers last week. My goodness, they don't usually put 50 on teams. The Tigers were, I guess from the Panthers standpoint, Tigers were getting quite lippy at the beginning part of this season. And this is what we always say to people here on this channel. It is a 27-round season. There is a long season. So whilst you can think that you won the premiership in March, like the Dragons did for many years, and they were the March premiers, now it goes to other teams. They're away again. Jenkins is going to be fitty right now. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh, Tigers. Fitty bomb. Isaac Tungo. Fitty bomb. Fitty bomb. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This is disgraceful. This is disgraceful. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Fitty bomb. Fitty bomb. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Isaac Tungo will score. It is 52 points to 0 with 22 minutes to go here. Jenkins with the line break. This is pathetic, Tigers. This is pathetic. No, Jess, I didn't get to watch the England game last night because that was when Australia was playing. Sounded like they made hard work of that 1-0 win. Took 40 minutes to find a score. Yeah, we were still live at the 50th minute, but I was live. I was watching the Australia game. Timmy Beef Buns, the Panthers to beat top point scored by 1 team in a match. Not going to happen. They're not going to get 93. I think 93 was the highest ever score. Feel for the Tigers, but that's why it's good to take it 1 week at a time and feel for the Tigers fans. Yeah, this is rough, mate. This is rough. Don't forget, guys, we've got Sharks Dragons right after this as well, which might be a blowout. But anyway, it's a 70-0. I'm not writing out. I probably would write off the 80, but it's not out of the equation. 20 minutes to go the game here, folks. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Nathan Cleary, can he keep this as a pinpoint perfection day with the boot? Yeah, if you remember, you can drop the Fitty Bomb gift, by the way. It's only $5 to be a member if you want to support the channel, guys. Obviously, it's completely free to watch this channel and enjoy. But if you do want to support it, it's only $5 to be a member, and you get all the different gifts and whatnot, like the Fitty Bomb that Addy just dropped there. Nathan Cleary from the left-hand touchline, and he will miss the kick, hits the post. Hits the post. Matson says, West comeback trust. Yeah, well, you bet on the Broncos last night, mate, against the greatest team of all time, the Gold Coast Titans. So I'm not going to trust you right now, Matster. No. Not going to be doing that. Laurie says, the Tigers fans leaving? Tigers fans would have gone ages ago. Tigers fans, they'd already be asleep. They'd already be asleep waiting for next week. Timmy Beef Bun says, tits. You got a lot of tits. Brendan Westing says, if there's any Tigers fans still in the stadium, why? Just go home, guys. Nah, bullshit. I bite back on that. I have witnessed my team get beaten at home to the Broncos by 50 plus. My biggest rival team, and that was at the peak of like the antagonism and whatnot back in the day when I was a lot younger. I will never advocate for people leaving early. I get it, but myself, as passionate as I am, I will sit there and I will support to the end because I was planning to go there regardless of the end. I plan to stay there for 80 minutes. If you've got a young child, like a baby or whatnot, I get it. But I will always advocate for sticking by your team through the hardest times, and this is a hard time. I will always say stand by your team regardless of what the score is, because you were planning to go to the game for the full 80 if you won. I've never left a game early, and I'll never leave a game early. Nathan Cleary, he's going to put a spiral bomb up there for Dream Buller, and he will grab that ball to 13 and be taken down to the 18 now, first tackle. Inu says, go Panthers, it's all over for today. It was all over in the first 15 minutes. Second tackle now for the Tigers at the 23. Fitty Bomb now get a real one under this shit overpaid team. Yeah, this is poor, William. This is poor for you, man. You stay to the end and clap the guys no matter what. Yeah, I don't necessarily advocate for saying to the players, great game, man, you know, you did well. I think that's a stupid thought process. But I think you stay there and you go, shit, that was a tough loss, man, but we were here with you. You know, we were here with you, and, you know, we're still backing you in. We still fight alongside you, but I'm disappointed because the players do need that reality. They are aware when they play shithouse. People don't realise this. They are very aware. But they don't need you to circle jerk them when you lose 52-0 in the first 60 minutes and potentially 70. They don't need you to do that because it's just dribble. You need to hold the players accountable whilst being respectful. I was there with you. I stayed with you. I've been there the entire time, but I was disappointed. You need to do better. I think that's the perfect way to put it. It's telling them you're disappointed, but shit, I'm there with you regardless. Fourth tackle now for the Panthers, and they're going to be a third tackle at 35. And Liam Martin, he'll get that offload away to Alamotti. They're away again. Alamotti, taken down to 40. That's a good tackle there, actually, from Jarrell Skelton. Brian Todd to Dylan Edwards. Edwards to Nathan Cleary. Cleary out the back. Plays Talangi. Talangi's got space. Gives it underneath to Sorensen. Sorensen's away. He is 2 meters out of the line fit tackle. 2 meters out. Dylan Edwards. He'll get this ball across to Nathan Cleary. Cleary gets it short ball. Not the play there. I don't know why he went short to Jack Hogger. Good game, bro, when they drop the ball 3+ times, play shit. Yeah, I used to do it. But if I was at a game now, the boys know I'm completely honest with it. 100%. And you have to be. Otherwise you're going to set your team up to be not held accountable. And that's why I hate nowadays fans who are like what I used to be. I respect you as a fan of my club, but if you cannot see it for what it is and you can't look at the game and say you weren't good enough, like you've got to stop celebrating mediocrity. 11 line breaks for the Panthers, by the way, to 1 for the Tigers. If you celebrate mediocrity, you will always be mediocre. If you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. So you need to strive to see your team be better. And if you keep saying your team's played well, despite the fact that they haven't, you're just going to get a team that knows the fans aren't really going to have a crack at you. And it's like you still need to be respectful about it. Tigers here. Turova. No, Edwards will get this ball. Yep, Edwards gets the ball at 2. He gets back up, and he'll be taken down first tackle. Hold up. Why have you put the Titans on one of the ladder? I haven't put anything at the top of the ladder. This is the official ladder, mate. Isaac Tungo at the 15. Are you suggesting that this isn't a serious, analytical, deeply, serious channel here? We don't joke here, mate. We don't joke here. This is the live ladder. Bit disrespectful that you would insinuate I'm a liar. I'm not a liar. This is the official ladder. This is a serious channel, Timmy Beef Buns. You got to get a grip of yourself. You got to really wake up to yourself here, champion. You got to really, really wake up to yourself. They're offloading the ball and knock on for the Panthers. You got to wake up to yourself. 0 tackle for the Tigers at the 40. If they wear the shirt with pride and give it your best, that's what we can ask of a player. Exactly right. But I don't know if I could ever say that a player's worn their shirt with pride when they're down 52-0 with 15 minutes to go to game. But when you criticize a player, you'll get fans saying, well, you go try and do what they're doing. Yeah, and that's when you tell them, shut your mouth. I'm not the one that's claiming to be a professional player. I understand what is needed to be a quality player on the field from watching it for my entire lifetime. That doesn't mean that I can play it myself, but I also, as you guys do, have a good enough understanding of what is expected based off of players that have come in the past, that are players that are right now. For example, I am not better than... Who's a good example here? 1 second, left-hand side. Jerome Luai gives it off. Chance here for the Tigers. Marcassini, he will... Oh, he's been held up here. Oh my gosh, Brian Tuttle has done well. They've held him up over the line. That's crazy. This is going to be a no try. He's going to go out to the 10. That's unbelievable for Brian Tuttle. Especially when you're at 52-0. Oh, look at this from Brian Tuttle. To hold this ball up is amazing. Wow. Tigers come out at the 10. I am not better than Ethan Sanders. But also, we can compare Ethan Sanders as a halfback with the rest of the competition. We can compare Ethan Sanders with, well, let's not go Nathan Cleary, even though that's a great example, but we'll go away from Cleary. We can compare him to halfbacks in similar areas of the game across the competition. And that's going to be last tackle. They get taken down to the 20. So Panthers ball at 20. Unbelievable from Brian Tuttle. You can compare him to players in the game who play his position. You can compare him to the last 10 years' worth of halfbacks in the competition. You can compare him to the last 50 years' worth of halfbacks in the competition. You have a good read of what is expected and understood about how a player is meant to play. Just because you don't play the game does not mean that you don't have the right to an opinion based off of what you watch and the expectations that you see from the players. That does not suggest that I'm any better. Ethan Sanders would run me absolutely rings around me. He would absolutely slap me down. But that doesn't mean that he is free from criticism for the fact that he's not performing well for the Raiders. Lindsay Smith is going to be at the 42 on third tackle. Timmy Beef Buns' difference is I could do what the Tigers doing. Wrong. And you are the type of person we're talking about right now, because you could not. Liam Martin's going to be at the 45 on fourth tackle. 14 minutes to go to the game. They go to Lindsay Smith at the 40, and now they'll be at the 33. This is good defense, Panthers, yeah. Close game, I'm right, Gary. Yeah, no, fantastically close game. So they'll kick this ball into the corner at the 15 and knock on from the Tigers. And Panthers will get the ball here at the 15. They'll bring it back out. Please get me views, says, yeah, they are. Oh, Tigers really ninth? Yes, they are ninth, yes. Sport Reaction says, NRL players get paid good money being an NRL player. You will cop criticism if you don't perform, just like people get fired for their 9-to-5 jobs if they don't perform. Correct. With respect, though, you have to look at it from a game perspective. If you're saying that a guy is if you're insulting a character, you're wrong. If you are insulting the playing ability and you're not insulting, you're criticizing how they're playing, that is completely fair game. But if you are swearing at them, carrying on and insulting them as a person and as a character, you are incorrect and you are a knob. And right through Lindsay Smith, try time. Nathan Clear with another try. Here's 56-0 with a kick to come. This is diabolical, Tigers. This is diabolical. It's about to be 58-0. It's about to be 58 points to 0. Oh my gosh. This is outrageous. Dave Dawson says, you'd expect a doctor to do their job well. If you go to a restaurant, you'd expect the cook knows how to cook. You being unhappy any worker is okay, yet somehow holding players accountable isn't. Hold on, let me see this again. You'd expect a doctor to do their job well. Yeah, 100%. If you go to a restaurant, you'd expect the cook knows how to cook. 100%. You being unhappy any worker is okay, yet somehow holding players accountable isn't. Exactly right. Because at the end of the day, people sort of say sport it's just a game. It's not. It's a way to watching sport is like watching a movie. If you go to the cinemas, you are using that to get out of reality. You are using that 2-hour time to go and watch a movie, or 3 hours watching Interstellar. You go into the cinemas because you're trying to remove yourself from reality to enjoy yourself and put yourself in a different world and just sit back and relax kind of deal to get away from the tough struggles of real life society, right? And the way that society operates. You want to get away from your work, you want to relax, you want to enjoy. The same thing goes with sport. So you use it as a way to keep your mental health intact because you enjoy it. You're paying for membership, you're paying for tickets, you're paying for merchandise, you're paying for KO, you're paying to be able to watch it. You are investing in your team and investing in the game. As long as you're not being a piece of shit and being racist or threatening players and whatnot, it is completely fine for you to have a critical opinion based off of players that play today, based off of what you've watched over the last 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, depending on how old you are. Is 70 out of the equation? No, 12 points in 11 and a half minutes is absolutely a possibility here for the Tigers. Moses Leota, he'll get this ball to the 20 on first tackle. By the way, Jay Dorso, not having a crack at you here, genuinely want to know your opinion. Do you now agree with Zane Harrison coming in? Second tackle here at the 30. I think that it was a great decision. Again, not having a crack at you, I just know that we obviously had that conversation about Zane Harrison prior to him coming in. And I want to know what your thoughts are now. Liam Martin gets it across to Liam Henry, and Henry's going to be now at the 50. 10 minutes to go of the game here, folks. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. 10 minutes to go. 58-0. Yikes. Sport Reaction says, thoughts on the Socceroos group. US, 6 again for the Panthers. Cleary's still on the field, by the way. Oh, no. Brian Tottle's away. Brian Tottle's away. Brian Tottle's away. Brian Tottle's away. Back on the inside. And he gets the offload away to Nathan Cleary. That's going to be a knock-on from the Tigers. This is ugly, mate. This is ugly right now. This is ugly. This might be a record for Tigers' loss. Their biggest loss was 72-0 to the Cowboys, or 74-0 to the Cowboys 2 or 3 years ago. Same year, they beat the Cowboys 66-18. They lost 72-0, 74-0, whatever it was. They would need to concede 3 more tries. Not out of the equation right now. Is this a record? No. Again, a couple of years ago, the Tigers lost 72-0, I think it was, to the Cows. The Panthers are going to score on this set. The Tigers are not good enough in this game. J35 says the Tigers are back. Will Mitch Kenny be back for the Panthers vs Warriors round 23 rematch later this year? No idea, man. You'll have to let me know. Nathan Cleary, Isaac Tungo. Tungo to the 5. It's going to be first tackle now. So this is 74-0. Yeah, the same year the Tigers actually beat them 66-18. It was a ridiculous year for that matchup between Tigers and Cowboys. Second tackle now at the 8. 9.5 minutes left here of the game. Sharks, Dragons right after this, folks. And that's going to be 2 meters away here from the line. Oh, Liam Henry so close. Oh, come on, Green Atkins. That's not held up over the line, whatever. 74 is the most points scored record in modern rugby league. Yes. What's impressive, though, about the 93 points that I think it was the maybe a Dragons Bullets game, but what's impressive about that back in the day was that was 3 points per try when that was existing. Dylan Edwards offloads it to Nathan Cleary, and Cleary is going to be taken down here at the 10 on 4 tackle. No, that's Cogger, sorry. Cogger the ball at the 10, 4 tackle. Liam Martin, Lindsay Smith, Nathan Cleary. Cleary gets it across to Isaac Tungo, and Tungo's going to be at the 5. He's offloaded the ball at the back. It's fine. Out to Jenkins. Jenkins is going to keep on moving. Kicks this ball through for Dylan Edwards. And this is going to be... Tigers going to get out of the in goal. They're going to get out of the in goal. Oh, no, he's going back in the in goal. No, he's not. Oh, dude, this Panthers team's relentless, bro. They are relentless, mate. They are relentless. This is sickening. This is relentless from Penrith. They're 58-0 up, and they're going to have the audacity to drag Luai back into the in-goal from 5 meters out. Oh, this is relentless. 93 is crazy stuff. Yeah, but again, Brooklyn, that was when tries were worth 3 points, not 4. They were 3 points, and they scored 93. Line dropout. It's a penalty to the Panthers here. They could go for the 2 to make it 60-0, but also they're relentless. If they hit 74, I'd back them in for 80, low-key, depending on the time. No, they're not getting 22 more points in 7.5 minutes. Tigers are getting done by a team who's not even in the top 9 as well. Panthers aren't even showing on the ladder. Exactly right. They're in third. They're in fourth last right now, the Panthers. Yeah, you're right. And that tells you the audacity of this Panthers team. They have a 2-point opportunity here. They're already winning 58-0. And they go for the try. Oh, respect is out the window, and I love it. Second tackle here at the 3. It is ruthless. Nathan Cleary, Dylan Edwards, and they'll be 5 metres away from the line. Third tackle. 5 metres away. Jack Cogger, Liam Martin, Nathan Cleary, Lindsay Smith. Lindsay Smith steps away, gets it back here to Liam Martin. I can't believe Liam Martin hasn't scored yet. They're 58 points and Liam Martin still hasn't scored. Wow, Cogger, Lindsay Smith, Nathan Cleary to Talangi Jenkins. There's your 60 slammer. 62-0 with a kick to come. 62-0 with a kick to come. Another try here for Jenkins, and this is just sickening. 4 tries for Jenkins today. 4 tries for Jenkins. I can't hate the Panthers. They were a bottom 4 team through the 2000s. Yeah, and they were a very inconsistent team in the 2010s too. 2020s is just dominant though. Sport Reaction says, thoughts on the Socceroos. The USA media is so cocky, trashing Australia. I think Socceroos and Turkey beat USA would be a group, should be a good group. It's a tough one. Paraguay are not easy. We've got to make sure that we're 0-0 or 1-1 or only down by 1 at half time because our second halves are looking dominant at the moment. Not even dominant, but just a lot better. USA are not that great. Turkey should beat us. Paraguay will be interesting to see what we do there. That'll be tricky. But I do think we get through the group. So multi-tries in a game this season. Thomas Jenkins has 9 already. Alex Johnson 2021 with 10 and Ray Preston like 100 years ago with 12. But Jenkins will break that record. 5 minutes to go here. A6 Angus as well. I've joined to a pumping. Oh, it is an absolutely no lube matchup here. Nathan Cleary will miss the kick. Damn it. There was a chance of 70. I don't know if they scored 2 tries in 5 minutes now. And Nathan Cleary comes off the field. So what does he end on Supercoach? So he will... Oh, my gosh. Nathan Cleary is going to end on about 160 on Supercoach. Brian Tuttle's on 119. Dude, I'm up in my Supercoach matchup by 200 with Molitalo and Kennedy to play the Dragons after this and Leo Thompson to play tomorrow. He's got talent to silver. Oh, boy. Well, there you go. 5 minutes to go here, this matchup, and the Panthers, yikes. How's Nathan's Supercoach looking right now? 160. He'll probably even update more. Predict the score. Sharks could get a good win there. J35 says, thoughts on the US pundits putting Chris Richards, Weston McKennie, Bologun, Pulisic in the top 25 important World Cup player. Oh, they're away again, Penrith. Oh, Brian Tuttle. Oh my gosh. Dylan Edwards. Oh my goodness me. Tigers luckily get it. Brian Tuttle should have passed that ball to Edwards there. If they did that, they had a good chance at 74. You did not think 62-0 would happen, Tigerwood. Let's just skip to the end. It is the end. There's only 4 minutes left here. This is disgraceful, by the way. Can you imagine paying for a ticket to this as a Tigers fan? You want to know the run meters in this game? Jess with a £10 donation. Appreciate you, Jess, with the 63.5 Panthers. Unfortunately, they haven't hit the 63.5 just yet, though. But thank you very much for the donation with the £10. Oh, my gosh. 2,130 metres for the Panthers today to 831 for the Tigers. That is mauling. That is disgusting. They have nearly tripled the amount of run meters of the Tigers today. That is nearly triple the amount of run meters for the Tigers today. Wow. 2,000, nearly 2,000. They'll end up on 2,200. They had a threat. Oh my gosh, Tigers. What the fuck? They've just had a 3-meter gain in 5 tackles. That set they just had through 5 tackles was 3 meters. 3 meters in 5 tackles is insane. Okay, well, Jess, we hope they get one for you here because there's 3 minutes to go. The Panthers are going to be 50 meters out. If that set is anything to go by, they definitely should be scoring now. That's the 6 again with the Panthers. Freddie Lussick brings this ball to the 35 on first tackle. 3 meter set is insane. 6 again for the Panthers. The Tigers are exhausted, mate. They're going to be in an ice bath for tonight. They'll sleep in the ice bath tonight. Oh, this is humiliating. Second tackle now at the 18. This is humiliating, especially when you've got all that belief in the Tigers, find a little bit of something this year and this happens. This is a nightmare. This is like the 66-0 with the Storm over the Tigers last year. Dylan Edwards kicks his ball through. Dropout coming up. Brett Ormond says, I reckon the Panthers will be under $2 to win the premiership after this. Nah. What are they now? The possession will be about 70%. The possession is... It was 63% at halftime. It is currently at still 63%. So it's still the exact same. Commentators must be tired. And they're going to get this ball. That's not going to go 10. So it's going to be a Panthers ball at 10. Panthers ball at 10. I think they were like $3 heading to this. They're not shorting up by $1. But this is ridiculous. They're not shorting up by $1. There might be like 280, 250 kind of deal. All right, so Thomas Jenkins, 10 meters away from the line. Can the Panthers get to 68? And Isaac Tungo. And Isaac Tungo is going to be 3 meters away from the line. 3 meters away. Freddie Lussick. There's 1:18 to go, JC. Liam Henry is 2 meters out. Second tackle. Come on. Get the over 60. Oh, it's a try time. There you go, Jets. Freddie Lussick with a try time underneath the post. 66-0 with a kick to come. Tigers. Disgrace. Chris Moose says, hello, Blaze. Hello, Chris. Christian boy. My good Tigers friend, Christian boy. Christian boy. Tigers fans, ignore the way that I'm reacting to Chris right now. He is a friend of mine who was a Tigers fan who is relentless in his shit talking about the Titans. Well. How are we feeling, Christian boy? Yeah, been a while, eh? 66-0 to the Panthers. Chris, I just said 66, by the way. Neil, it's about 68, 37 seconds to go here. Tigers scam. They're going off of the table after this. They actually are. The Cowboys, the Tigers need to lose this game by 3 points to go below the Cowboys. They're going to lose by 68. So, close. This is what the Dragons' Magic Round should have been. Yeah, it should have been. Put Tigers on garbage alert. Actually, you know what? That might be the next level. It might be the next level. We might have fraud alert, scam, and then garbage. That makes sense, actually. Yeah, we'll do that. And there we go, guys. That's the end of the game. The Panthers will win 68 points to 0. 68 points to 0. Chris says, I hate to be the team playing the Tigers next week. I love it. Yeah, there's nothing that you can say right now, Chris. There's nothing that you can say that's going to give us anything except for some good laughs. But 68-0 to the Panthers. Just perfect from Penrith. Just brilliant stuff there. But 0 and 68. Most points by the Panthers ever was 72-12 against Manly in 2004. The second highest score they've ever scored was today, 68-0. What a sad, sad Sunday here for the West Tigers organisation. This was poor. What a masterclass from Penrith, and that's scary. But guys, I'm going to jump off. I'm going to see you in about 10 minutes' time for the second game of the day. It's not the last game of the round because we've got Bulldogs Eels tomorrow, but we will have the Sharks versus the Dragons coming up right after this. Chunky says, let's be dead ass. If it was the Titans, you would be crying. So I've been quite respectful here to your day, Chunky. If you would like me to tell you how ass this result is and really emphasize it for you, I can absolutely do that. Mind you, you've got a 0 winning record against any NRL franchise in the history of your club. So don't start arcing up, man, because at the end of the day, yeah, it would be, but if you're going to start getting salty because your team lost 68-0, 68-0 today, Chunky. So just remember that. 68-0 to the Panthers, and you're trying to talk down about another team. Why don't you hold your own club accountable instead of coping and trying to insult other clubs to make yourself feel better? Why don't you realize within your own club that I've actually been quite respectful here today. The Panthers have been very, very good, but it's very, very easy to slap down for your shit-ass team. Yeah, you don't go with the Tigers now. You said before you're a Tigers fan. So anyway, thank you for providing the entertainment, and just remember, your club has no winning record against a single NRL club. Every other Tigers fan, I feel for you. People like Chunky, though, don't respect that because you can't hold your own team accountable and you want to go for other teams to make yourself feel better for supporting whatever the shit we just watched is them. 68-0. Remember that. Tattoo it on your forehead. 68-0. So that's the end of the game there. I'm going to see you at the Sharks vs Dragons in 10 minutes' time, guys. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Appreciate you for tuning in, and let's fire up. Let's fire up for the second game of the day here. So hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. 68-0 Chunky, by the way. Enjoy that one, Shaggy. See ya.